Friday Night Football. Greetings from the Jim Landers broadcast booth at the Palace in beautiful Benton, Arkansas. It is time for Benton Fighting Panther football. Tonight, for the first time in 20 years, Benton and Bryant will meet inside Saline County as the Salt Bowl has come home. And it was 20 years ago at venerable C.W. Lewis Stadium that the Benton Panthers defeated the Bryant Hornets 35-28 in the opening round of the state playoffs. Tonight, the Panthers are hoping history repeats itself as the big game comes back home to Benton. The Benton Panthers begin their 10th season under the leadership of Brad Harris, who is just 5 wins away from tying the legend Dwight Fite as the all-time winningest head coach in Benton football history. On the other side, the Hornets, winners of 84 of their last 89 high school football games, 7 of the past 8 Class 7A state championships, begin their 3rd season under head coach Quad Sanders, and it is a veteran, experienced Hornet team that our Panthers will face tonight. We're going to break it down for you over the next 30 minutes on the Everett Buick GMC Panther pregame show. We'll hear Brad Harris's thoughts and keys for the Panthers in this 2025 season opener. I'm Jim Gardner, joined tonight by Terry Benham, Henry Hicks, Justin Ray, and Dio Vanucci. Tonight's Salt Bowl broadcast is presented by Everett Buick GMC, First Security Bank, Jones Heating and Air, and Westside Pharmacy. And guys, it is good to be home, Dio.
It is good to be home, and it has been a long time since the Salt Bowl has been played on Saline County soil. So how exciting to be here for that. And God gave us a blessing of fall-like weather today. And, man, it's just good for football season to be back.
And walking around in the pregame, Terry, it felt like the midway at the county fair out there. 74 vendors set up.
74 vendors, and, a shout-out to the Not Ops crew from the senior class who were here at 4 p.m. waiting on this football game. Food trucks, the whole deal. We moved the village from War Memorial down here to this palace setup, and man, what a great football environment, as Dio said. Incredible football weather to start the season, and hopefully a great ball game tonight.
Yeah, it is a full house already. It was a full house an hour before kickoff as stands packed out. Bryant folks were securing their seat the minute the gates opened at 4 o'clock. So it's going to be a neat atmosphere. And as Brad Harris and Quad Sanders both talked about, you put 20,000 people in War Memorial and it's half empty.
Yeah.
But you put 8,000 at the Palace, and it is going to be a raucous atmosphere, Dio.
Yeah, it is, and it's going to be a totally different environment. Just everybody, the fans are so much closer to the field, and this rivalry has been around for decades, and it's about time that it's been played in a home-and-home series. And I've just got one question for tonight. Are we going to have a 45-minute halftime?
No.
Okay. No. I was curious. I know Shane Broadway's got to be disappointed that he's not going to be able to be down there for that long. But I think the crowd, and I know we will be appreciative of the shorter halftime.
This is the 53rd meeting all-time between Benton and Bryant. The first game was played in 1974. And the Panthers won that one 28-0. The Hornets now lead the overall series 26-24. There have been 2 ties, and the Hornets have won 10 straight since a 14-14 tie in 2014. Last year, it was a shootout as Bryant defeated the Panthers 52-42. Bryant only allowed 28 points to any other team, so Benton by far put the most on Bryant's defense last year. And, of course, the last Panther win was that 35-28 win in 2005. So, Terry, I know you go back into your childhood with Benton Bryant football games.
Yeah, I do. And, the Daryl Patton team was right there when I was still in high school, and that was one of the big wins for them. And, the history of the series is very much a sideline population game. Benton dominated Bryant for so many years. And the reason why is we had more players, we had bigger players, we had faster players. And now Bryant has kind of done the same thing to us over the last few years. And because they've got a larger roster and they've just got more players. And when you can put 2 or 3 different players on both sides of the ball as opposed to the opposition, man, it makes a huge difference in the game. And then when you look at Bryant's depth, that's where they get us. It feels like almost every year, Dio, it's that fourth quarter that runs in, and our guys are right there in the game, and the fourth quarter, the depth chart just takes over.
It's really the difference between a division. You saw it last night in the Missouri UCA game. It's just the difference in being able to rotate and not have a big drop-off from your first and second string guys. And Benton just, no team in the state has the luxury like Bryant does. That's why they've won 7 out of the last 8 state championships.
Talking about population, Brad Harris said when he became the head football coach at Benton, the difference in numbers was 600. Today, it's closer to 1,200. So it is a numbers game in football, and Bryant is just booming in student population. Let's do a quick team comparison. Panthers were 10-2 last year in the 6A East Conference champs. 7 returning starters, 5 on offense, 2 on defense. As we mentioned in the open, Brad Harris begins his 10th year as head coach. And the Panthers are picked to win the 6A East and are 3rd in the preseason Class 6A poll. The Hornets 13-0 last year, 7A state champs. They returned 14 starters. 10 of those returning starters were either all-conference or all-state last year. And naturally, the Hornets are picked to win the 7A Central and open up as the number 1 team in 7A and the number 1 team overall in the state. As we look at some key returners for the Panthers in 2025, Drew Davis completed 61% of his passes last year, 36 touchdowns. Drew is already the school leader in touchdown passes at 78, and he's only a little over 2,100 yards from breaking Garrett Brown's all-time record for yardage. Drew at 78 touchdowns. He can hit 100 touchdowns this year and should, barring injury.
Yeah, I think so. And man, he's done such a great job. And last year, that offensive line was such a good unit and helped protect him. And this year, we've only got 2 returning starters. So it's going to be really exciting tonight to watch some of these younger players that got a lot of snaps last year, but tonight it's real time and it's live, and they're going to go against one of the best defensive fronts that they're going to see all year, maybe even in their career.
Dio at receiver, we got Will Carter and Pooh Collett back, and the yards per catch really jumps out at you, over 17.5 yards per reception last year, 16 touchdowns between the two.
Well, and when you think about the other athletes that played last year, seniors, Maddox Davis, Elias Payne, and these guys were sharing snaps to get those yardages and those touchdowns. That's a testament to how well they spread the ball around on this Panther offense. But I think I think both of them are actually due for kind of that breakout year where those are going to be the featured receivers.
Yeah, and one thing is Drew is really good at spreading the ball around like you were talking about. His sophomore year, I think he threw touchdowns to 7 different receivers. And tonight he's with Bryson Griffiths sometimes going into the slot, he's going to have 1,300 returning yards on the offensive side.
The one key offensive line returner, Garrett Pilkington, moves from center out to right tackle. You've got 2 big bookends in Madison Hurd at left tackle, Pilk at right tackle, and a lot of youth and inexperience in between those 3 guys. On the defensive side, boy, it is slim pickings as the Panthers graduated 9 seniors off last year's defense. The 2 lone returning starters, Weston Monson and Trey Stewart, and then we tacked Antonio Shelton on there because you're going to see Antonio and Weston on the outside. And what they lack in inexperience, Dio, they make up for in wingspan. Those are two long-bodied young men at outside linebacker for the Panthers.
Yeah, and Weston Monson really showed out last year. He showed what he was capable of, especially towards the end of the season. He that's one of those positions where once it clicks, you start playing without that hesitancy, and you could tell he did that. Hopefully he just continues that right on. But like you said, that wingspan, just that length, when you've got long arms and you're on the outside, that's helpful in so many different ways. Pass coverage, being able to go up and knock a ball down, being able to run down a running back, reach out and take them down. Those two guys, I expect to see big things out of them. But and we'll talk about the new middle linebacker. I'm kind of excited about that too.
Yeah, Terry, we graduated the entire two deep on the D-line.
Yep.
And they are being replaced by some good football players, but it's not going to be that big Benton defensive line we're used to. A lot smaller, but maybe quicker up front.
Well, what they lack in size, they'll make up for in speed. But what you're also going to see is we're going to go all the way back to like 2014, where Brad Harris brought a new style of defense, and it fired from every direction on every play. You just never knew where the pressure was coming from. And with two defensive linemen that are in the 220-pound range, there's going to be a lot of activity for Panther fans from the linebacker core, and they're going to be shooting from all different kinds of gaps. What we have to hope for is that we're picking the right gap, because that's where we could get hurt underneath.
Yeah, well, and I look on the depth chart. I see Drake Woodard, sophomore, 6'3", 225, getting the start tonight at that defensive end. He reminds me of Jeremiah Bowling that played years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Was that same kind of build. Wasn't a 260, 270. Wasn't a big lineman looking kid. But, man, played with quick feet and good hands.
We're going to take our first commercial break. When we come back, you'll hear Brad Harris's pregame thoughts. This is the Salt Bowl 2025 on M&M Productions.
Hi, I'm Miranda Kirkendall, owner and advanced nurse injector here at Solux Aesthetics in the heart of downtown Benton. I've had the pleasure of serving our community for the last 4 years. At Solux, it's not about changing who you are, it's about making you feel comfortable and confident in your own skin with the results that look natural and true to you. Whether it's Botox, filler, or skin treatment, I focus on results that look fresh, natural, and unique. I'd love for you to stop by and see me at 149 South Market Street or give me a call at 501-249-4177.
Midtown Plumbing services over 1 million square feet of commercial property in Little Rock. And they've also provided plumbing needs to thousands of residential clients all over Central Arkansas. Along with residential and commercial plumbing, Midtown also provides water heater sales, sewer repair, remodeling services, and 24-hour emergency plumbing. Midtown Plumbing, just a phone call away. 501-426-5900. MidtownMechanicalServices.com.
At First Security, we've been investing in our home state since 1932, growing deep roots and even deeper relationships. We're part of Arkansas. It's part of us. Today, we put all of that history and stability to good use for you, pouring our resources into the people and places we love best. Arkansas communities, Arkansas families, and Arkansas futures. First Security. Think better.
The Everett difference means we are committed to giving back to the communities we serve.
When I think of Everett, I think of them more than just a car dealership.
Everett's involvement in the community is phenomenal. I see it in the police and fire department. I see it in the Boys and Girls Club.
Their heart is in this community.
And I think Everett does a great job making sure they have a positive, lasting impact.
We are grateful for the opportunity to serve. Discover the Everett difference for yourself.
Welcome back to the Everett Buick GMC Panther pregame show, joined by Coach Brad Harris. And, Coach, you've got long sleeves on. I mean, it was crazy last night at PA. It does not feel like the opening of football season out here.
No, but I love it, man. It feels awesome out here. If I could wear a long sleeve, lightweight top like this, it'd be awesome for the rest of the football season. But yeah, we've been very fortunate and blessed to have the weather we're having this week. This is the first time that I can remember this early in the year that it's this cool in all of my years of coaching. But yeah, it was a nice night last night, and I think we'll have another great night tonight weather-wise.
And it's different, not just the weather. It's not 110 degrees out here, but it's also at home.
Right.
For the first time since 2005, and I know you've made a big deal about that with your team this week.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to play at home, you know, and we always feel like we have a good home crowd, and that helped us. You know, we got to win the big game at home. We've lost in the semifinals the last 2 years, but, man, it's also always nice to play in front of your home crowd here. You know, we do a great job with getting people out, and tonight's going to be an awesome atmosphere, you know, with all the work that you can see that they've done around and everything. Tailgating starts at 4 o'clock, and just to play it at home gives us a little bit more of a home field advantage than what we do at War Memorial, because Bryant always dominates the attendance there. You know, so we're limited in what they can bring in, and it's going to be a great night tonight, I think.
And 20 years ago, the last time this game was played at home, it went in the Benton Panthers' favor, and it hasn't since then.
That's right. And that's one thing I let our kids know. You know, I mean, I wish it wasn't 20 years ago that we won a game, but, you know, at least the last time that we won game against Bryant, it was on our home turf, even though it was over at C.W. Lewis, different arena and everything. But, you know, having that home field advantage hopefully can help us a little bit tonight. You know, they're going to have to come in and play in a tough environment, hopefully. You know, they're used to that, though. You know, they're the defending state champ and a really talented team. But, you know, we'll take any edge that we can get, and hopefully our home crowd can give us a little bit of energy tonight.
Talk about the Hornets for a minute. You look at them on paper, defensively especially, it looks like it could be the best defense they've ever had. They've got 2 commits to the University of Oklahoma starting. They've won 7 of the last 8 state championships. It's a tall order tonight against that defense.
Oh, for sure, Jim. They're probably as good as they've ever been on defense, I think. You know, they're playing about 20, 22 kids that you don't see a drop-off at all defensively, and that's just phenomenal in high school football. You know, it's like they have a college too deep, you know, where they know that, you know, there's no letdown. They don't mind those guys going in and rotating, keeping them fresh. And that's where they always hurt us, is the depth factor, the quality of depth. And there's nothing different tonight, but I think you're going to see probably the best, you know, Bryant Hornet defense that you've seen in several years. You know, offensively, I like their offense, man. They're really good. They do a really good job on the offensive line every year. I don't know that they're quite as big as they've been over the last couple of years, playing a couple sophomores, so that could be good for us too. You know, we're playing a couple too, though. But, you know, they're not quite as veteran up front. And they're breaking in a new quarterback, whoever they start tonight. They've been playing 2 guys, Moats and Shelby. And I don't know who they're going to go with, but I think they're going to play both of them tonight. So they're not quite set there. Got a couple of really good running backs. Now, their receiving core is a real deal. Their receiving core is good. They've got 4 kids back that can play. You know, they've got a kid that's committed to go to App State, and I think UNC Charlotte or something like that, with the Tucker kid and Aaron Austin. I just went blank. Kamari Austin, yeah, Austin's last name. So, anyway, I mean, just you know, some really talented kids, you know, and Austin is, you know, he's 6'3", 6'4", big-bodied kid. So they've got a lot of talent on offense too. But man, they're really good on defense.
What are the keys for a Panther win tonight?
Well, I think, you know, from our defensive standpoint, we're smaller than we've been, but we run to the football really well. We got some good speed, so we're going to have to be relentless in our pursuit tonight. Cannot take a play off. We know that we're going to get some mismatches in the box if they run the football, but we really got to have that relentless mentality and attack all night long, and can't take plays off, you know. Hopefully create a turnover or 2, you know, and that's going to help us. Offensively, last year we had 6, 7 turnovers, whatever it was. I mean, we got to take care of the football against a really talented defense. We know they're going to set us back a few times, but we've got to be able to put that behind us and move forward. You know, we can't control that last play. We're going to get them some, hopefully. You know, we really like our game plan, throwing the football around. Love having that we got Drew Davis back for his 3rd start, you know, our 3rd time to play in the Salt Bowl. We got, you know, Carson Collett back, and we've got Will Carter back, you know. So we feel like we can throw it around on them a little bit, but it is going to be a tall task for our offense. So can't hang on to the negative too long, and got to go to the next play every snap, you know. So it's going to be a big challenge for us, so big time.
Coach, good luck, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say, you know, the people are going to look at the scoreboard tonight and determine a winner, but in a lot of ways the Panthers have already won. When you think about what your young men have done in community service in August with Amplify, with the Ralph Bunch, right, and how they conducted themselves in such a mature, positive way at the press conference Wednesday. I know that's got to make you super proud.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You know, we're in it. I always say it's more than ball, you know, and I've always kind of been that way as a coach. I want to win a state championship and conference championships and go undefeated as much as anybody, but I also know that these guys, they're going out into the community next year, a lot of these guys. You know, we want to help lead them in the right direction. And I think our kids are seeing that. You know, they're seeing how our staff models themselves every day, and I think they're seeing those things, whether it's faith-based or work ethic-based or whatever it is. You know, we're trying to preach it to them, and I think you saw that a little bit the other day in the press conference, and I know you see that because we have kids that volunteer and do the things, and you know every school has that, but I'm real proud of the way our kids have responded this year, and you know this group. A lot of people don't think that we're probably going to be as good as we've been the last couple of years. We graduated 29 seniors that are really talented. It's going to be tough. But, you know, we got a really solid group of guys coming back for their senior year, and we got some guys with a lot of playing time, just not many of them, you know, and hopefully those guys can do a great job leading. And I think you saw the quality of people that we have, and that means a lot when it comes to the heat of the battle and everything. For sure.
Coach, good luck, and we're hoping those wins off the field translate into an upset win on the field tonight as the Panthers and Hornets tussle in the Salt Bowl. We'll take a break and be right back to continue the Everett Buick GMC Panther pregame show.
Hi, I'm Miranda Kirkendall, owner and advanced nurse injector here at Solux Aesthetics in the heart of downtown Benton. I've had the pleasure of serving our community for the last 4 years. At Solux, it's not about changing who you are, it's about making you feel comfortable and confident in your own skin with the results that look natural and true to you. Whether it's Botox, filler, or skin treatment, I focus on results that look fresh, natural, and unique. I'd love for you to stop by and see me at 149 South Market Street or give me a call at 501-249-4177.
Midtown Plumbing services over 1 million square feet of commercial property in Little Rock, and they've also provided plumbing needs to thousands of residential clients all over Central Arkansas. Along with residential and commercial plumbing, Midtown also provides water heater sales, sewer repair, remodeling services, and 24-hour emergency plumbing. Midtown Plumbing, just a phone call away. 501-426-5900. MidtownMechanicalServices.com.
Hey, welcome to Westside. How can I help you? We're all in this community.
And then you see somebody, come by the pharmacy, and it's somebody that you went to high school with, and they have a son or a daughter that's playing sports at the same place that you played.
We get to know our patients. We get to know kind of what's going on. We keep our pharmacy techs, clerks for years. You're going to know them. You go to church with them. You go to school with them.
Somebody's like, I'm sick and I'm at home, and it's late and on the weekend. I'm coming your way.
The Everett difference means we treat everyone with respect and honesty. Our customers know firsthand how that feels.
You are their main focus.
They're all working toward the same common goal, which is providing exceptional customer experience.
Everett has earned our trust.
Everett always gives me the best deal. Always.
Everett made it happen.
That's the only place we will ever buy a car from, ever.
We are grateful for the opportunity to serve. Discover the Everett difference for yourself.
Welcome back to the Salt Bowl and the Everett Buick GMC Panther pregame show. Dio, Terry, and I are old hands at this, but we are welcoming in a brand spanking new member of the Benton Football Network broadcast crew tonight, Justin Ray, former offensive coordinator of the Panthers, now going to join us. And Justin, welcome to the broadcast crew.
I appreciate it, guys. I'm a rookie now. It's been a long time since I've been able to say that, but it's a pleasure. I'm excited about the season, and thank you guys for letting me join you.
Yeah, tell me a little bit. You made a career move in the spring, and how's that going for you?
It's going really well. I don't want to tell you the company that I'm working for because they're a huge advocate for the Sheridan Yellow Jackets.
Okay.
So we're not going to give them any notoriety on this channel. No, it's going well for me. It's different. It's a change of pace, but it's still competitive, and I'm enjoying it.
Thinking back to last year's Salt Bowl, your offense put up 42 points on the Bryant Hornets. What was the key last year for that onslaught of scoring?
Every time we get into the the film room and meeting room on Sunday, we always talk about numbers, alignment, and leverage. Numbers, how do we gain the numbers and advantage each play? Can we get it, 2v1? That's what we're looking to do with each play. And then force the defensive alignment. So when we talk about alignment issues, we want to move pre-snap, try to figure out how to force the defense into, a certain coverage or alignment or a front, or force them into a base alignment, something they're not comfortable with, depending on kind of our movements and shifts. So I think that's important tonight. I think Drew's going to do a great job. And then, leverage points, trying to figure out how to get our best players in successful situations. I got the man right here with me.
Oh,
hey, he can't stay away.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we got to get him back in some role. All right, let's go get him tonight, man.
Well, there you go. I was going to get a pregame thought, but Brad's locked in. So Will Carter, Poot Collett, Garrett Pilkington, Drew Davis, your Benton Panther captains, getting ready for the coin toss at midfield. The True Gentlemen picks to click are coming your way. True Gentlemen, the official apparel provider of the Benton Football Network.
Shirt.
Well, you got to talk to Allison. Terry and I got our True shirts on. So, Justin, who's your first ever picks to click tonight?
So I'm going with Drew Davis, obviously offense. He's a heartbeat of this team. Offensively, I really liked what he did in the Christian scrimmage. He ran the ball extremely hard. He put on about 25 pounds in the offseason. So I think he's not only gonna make a lot of noise today in the air, but also on the ground. Defensively, are you ready for my defense?
Yes.
Defensively, Antonio Shelton. He's a kid that, he came to us from Little Rock Central as a sophomore, and he's just continued to get better and better. And I think he's the juice to our defense. He's the guy that's going to get everybody going. He is the leader. I absolutely love that kid, so I'd love to see him do some special things tonight. So those are my two guys for the click to pick tonight.
Click to pick, attaboy. Don't get tongue tangled down there. So we'll come back to you on your key to victory for the offense in a minute. Dio, who's your pick to click tonight?
Well, Drew Davis has got to have somebody to throw to, and I'm going to pick the speedster, Poot Collett, on that one because he's just a playmaker, and I think this is his year. On defense, I'm going to go with Connor Stevens, senior linebacker. I think he's going to be playing that edge. He's, got some good speed. We saw some good things from him last year. Hope he steps up big tonight.
Terry.
Well, you're seeing a theme here with Drew Davis and Poot pick. I'm going with Will Carter on the other side, and Bryson Mattia. I think Bryson is going to be really key to this game and seeing him attack the line of scrimmage.
Keys to victory. Terry, give us a team key to victory as the Hornets
well,
come
team,
out.
I mean, they got to play fearless. This team is ranked in the top 25 in the entire nation, and the Panthers have got to come out and play fearless in this game.
Defense, Dio.
They got to stop the run. Bryant is loaded at every position except for quarterback. This is the first high school start for this quarterback. If they can stop the run and force the game into his hands, that gives us a great chance.
All right, Justin, offensive key to victory.
I think the offensive key to victory is slowing down their defense, and the only way to do that is a lot of pre-snap movements and shifts and motions to force them into a base situation. So if we can do that, I think we'll have some success on the offensive side.
Panthers are in the inflatable tunnel preparing to come out on the field. The smoke being provided once again this year by Randy Adney at Independent Fire Extinguisher Sales and Service. And here come the 2025 Fighting Panthers onto the Palace turf for the first time this year. And look at Drew Davis, Poot Collett, seniors leading them out, Will Carter. Like to see that senior leadership, Terry, at the front of the line.
Yeah, absolutely, man. He came out like a cannon. I love it. These seniors are fired up. The start of their final season.
And I can imagine the electricity, the atmosphere down there, Justin, as you talk to your old O-line coach. It's got to be thrilling down there.
It's been a long time since I've been on the sideline, and it is very electric. You can definitely feel it. You got the smoke going in the end zone. You got the guys down here hyped. I'm really looking over there at the Bryant student section, and they look like they're ready to rock and roll. So I'm excited for this open kickoff.
Yeah, the air, chalk in the air, dust in the air over there at the Bryant student section as the Panthers going to kick off and defend that magical south end zone. Gabe Wilbur is going to kick off for the Panthers. Jacoby Boone and Caleb Tucker back deep for Bryant. Yes, Jacoby Boone does run a legit 4-3. So you say, okay, we'll kick it to Caleb Tucker. He runs a legit 4-4. So,
yeah. Pick your poison.
And is a commit to Division I Charlotte already. As the ball fielded by Boone takes him into the end zone, so it'll come out to the 20-yard line. And we will see the Bryant offense first. Jeremiah Moats, whose father is a preacher at a Church of Christ in Michigan.
Oh, wow.
Moats was a sophomore at Bryant, went for his junior year in Michigan with his father, has come back to Bryant for his senior year, and he's making his first career start as a varsity football player tonight at quarterback. 6'2", 180-pound senior for the Hornets. We will set your Benton Panther defense as we already see a shift as Bryson Mattia moves to the jack linebacker position and Connor Stevens moves to the Mike on defense. As Moats drops back now, just a little flip forward. That's Zach Curtis Jones, and he is outside, breaks a tackle. There goes Curtis Jones up the sideline, and it is a huge gain for Bryant as Noah Robertson, Corey Anderson make the tackle all the way into Benton territory at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, it was really good pressure that time, Dio, and they got underneath the pressure, and once that happens, there's nobody there.
Yeah, well, in that blocking scheme that they have, they pulled. I couldn't tell if it was the guard or the tackle, but pulled and took out the linebacker, and it was open space.
Fake to Jones. Moats throws. Boone with the catch in the slot. Tackle made by Messiah Holloway or Trey Stewart. It was Holloway.
Yep.
The senior getting his first start at cornerback in a varsity game makes the tackle. 2nd down and 2 for the Hornets. Hornets move to the south end zone. Ball at the 24-yard line. Again, fake to Curtis Jones. Throws to Boone, and he makes the catch and is thumped immediately by Corey Anderson, former wide receiver Dio that's moved over to safety.
Boy, he made a great form tackle. It was too bad the ball was caught past the first down sticks, but that's how you stick somebody on defense.
Well, if that's your debut, that's kind of exciting for the future.
Corey is senior, called his name a lot last year at receiver. Bryant's just going to the air repeatedly, and that one is incomplete. Good coverage out there, intended for Tucker, as Austin Hill, the sophomore, in coverage for the Panthers, along with Major Holloway.
I'm going to appreciate the refs for not throwing a flag on that because it was a little bit uncatchable.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was just kind of thrown up, too.
Yeah.
You kind of appreciate the fact that they had him kind of double covered.
2nd down and 10. Bryant in the red zone, just inside the Benton 20-yard line. First run of the game, and it is a direct pitch back to T.J. Hodges, the transfer from Mark Tree. Corey Anderson, again on the tackle. He is a 4-star move-in with 20 offers, Terry.
Yeah, with 20 offers, and you see why. That speed, Benton had good pressure right there, and his speed just got him to the outside and was able to get him downfield.
Well, talk about playing in a different environment than in Mark Tree. There's more people in the Bryant stands than live in Mark Tree, I think.
So 3rd down and 3 for the Hornets at the Panther 12. High snap, hand off to... Where did the ball go? It's trying to hand it off to Hodges, and it went rolling forward.
Well,
I think he pulled it back at the last minute.
I think he pulled it.
I totally lost it. Was that Moats?
Yeah, it was Moats. I think at the last minute he saw Benton had fantastic pressure and had covered up the receiver, and I think he pulled it at the last minute and was able to get upfield and get the first down.
So 1st and goal, Hornets. They hand it off to Hodges. Boy, that's a great tackle out there on the edge by Weston Monson for the Panthers. A loss back to the 12.
That's that length right there. Kept his outside arm free, was able to pursue upfield, and then just wrap those big old big old long arms around him.
Well, Weston had 54 tackles last year. He's actually the leader coming back into this season.
Second and goal, Hornets again out of the shotgun. Bad snap. Moats goes back to retrieve it, and he's dumped all on the ground. Picked up by Mattia, and the Panthers get the first break of the ball game on the turnover. Bryson Mattia comes up with it, and Benton's going to have it 1st and 10 at the 32.
That's a big play, Dio. Big play.
That is a huge play. Monson not giving up on the play and then ripping the ball out at the last second. That was awesome.
So credit Monson with the forced fumble, Mattia with the fumble recovery, and the Benton Panthers have it for the first time with Drew Davis, the senior at quarterback. He has Gunnar Deaton, a senior at running back. 2 receivers to each side. Davis looks, throws wide of Bryson Griffiths. So Griffiths and Collett, Carter and Barger are your receivers. Panthers center is Caleb Johnson. Senior was listed as the backup on the 2 deep. He gets the start at center. The left side of the offensive line is Madison Hurd and sophomore Barrett Pettit. The right side of the line, Eli Cunningham and Garrett Pilkington. On 2nd down and 10, we've got a flag.
Not what we need right here.
Yeah, that's the one thing that the Panthers can't do. They cannot kill themselves with penalties or turnovers.
Yeah, can't afford to play behind the sticks against this team. Especially when you get a break like that, you got to turn that into something.
See what Benton does here on 2nd and 15. Drew Davis drops back, throws, and he throws wide of Will Carter. In coverage, Matthew Ferguson, an all-conference returning cornerback for the Hornets. It's 3rd down and 15 for Benton as Pettit comes out. Sam Harris checks in at center.
Well, that time Drew had Ja'Cory Smith, who's a commit to Oklahoma, right in his face.
Davis drops back, swing pass out to Gunnar Deaton. Gunnar lowers his shoulder and bulldozes his way to the 32. Terrian Jones on the tackle. And I'm telling you guys, we're going to have fun watching Gunnar, all 5'8", 170 of him. Dio, he's not afraid to run right into you.
No, he lowered his shoulder and
he definitely prefers contact.
He definitely prefers contact. He's like, I might be getting tackled, but you're going to feel it.
So the Panthers will put it away on 4th down and 11. Connor Stevens will be your deep snapper. Dawson Days back to punt is new OBU Tiger, Parker Glaze, right beneath us here in the box. Good end-over-end punt by Daves. Going to take a Panther roll. Caleb Tucker now fields it, and he returns it up the Bryant sideline. Going to be dragged out of bounds at the 42. Drake Woodard in on the tackle. As we go down to Justin Ray, initial impressions, Justin, after each team's opening drive.
I really liked the way I saw our defense play in that opening drive. Bryant, that opening play, they ran a gimmicky tunnel. It was a tunnel screen is what it was. They faked the draw and then they shovel past it with a screen. But I really think that they're going to have trouble doing stuff like that throughout the course of the game. I think if we keep getting pressure on 13, it's going to be a long night for them.
So Matthew Sublett, the transfer from Maumelle, is the H-back. He's got offers from Arkansas and Tulsa, just a junior. Now Moats brings him back, attaches him to the line, handoff to Zach Curtis Jones. Boy, that is good pursuit by Antonio Shelton, who wraps him up for a 2-yard loss.
Well, Antonio Shelton is a really good football player, and you saw him get off of the edge there and was waiting on the running back. Excellent defense.
2nd down and 12, Hornets back at the 40. 7.5 counting in the first quarter. All scoreless thus far. Second drive of the game for Bryant. As Kamari Austin, Keenan Lattin split wide to the near side. Cooper Billingsley now motions. And they're going to hand it off to Curtis Jones again. He tries to get to the outside, breaks an arm tackle. Flag comes in as Jones is into Benton territory at the 48. Very close to a first down, but let's check the flag back at the 42.
Guys, it looks like it's going to be a hold, and it's going to be a long second and 10, 15 to 20.
Yeah, I think they got Rucker for tackling Corey Anderson there.
Mikhail Rucker, the Bryant center, an all-conference performer in 2024. You can just kind of hit repeat on that, Terry. Everybody coming back, starting for Bryant is an award winner.
Yeah, that offensive line, returning 3 starters, all of them are all conference players, and then starting 2 sophomores.
Yeah.
On that big offensive line.
Xavier Freeman and Amari Clary, the 2 sophomores.
And Jim, they average 260 pounds across the front. I mean, that's like a small college.
It is. It is. So they finally said after the penalty, the ball back at the 37-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 15 for the Hornets. Quick meeting of the minds. Now we're ready to play football again as even the end zone seats beginning to fill in. Packed house here tonight at the Palace. Is Rucker waiting?
Well,
the officials
what have we
seem
got
to be
going, a TV timeout? Or what?
Yeah.
There we go, finally. This Panthers showing blitz. Here they come. Moats throws. Catch made by Kamari Austin. And right there to bring him down, it's Major Holloway, number 49, the 5'9", 175-pound junior Spur with a great tackle, Dio.
Well, that was a fantastic tackle, but he did a good job. He knew where his receiver was going, and he knew his responsibility. That's sometimes tough for those guys when they're playing more of that hybrid position to get out to the outside.
Oh, Panthers.
Come
a little
on.
over anxious right there is Moats Nate Beckham offsides, and it'll be 3rd and 6 following the penalty assessment.
Yeah, that's probably going to be something that the Panthers are really going to have to work on this year because they're playing so aggressive from the second level that you almost have to anticipate the snap.
So 3rd down and 6, Bryant at their own 47-yard line. Midway through the first quarter, still scoreless. Empty gun for Moats. Takes a snap, looks right, looking right, pressured. Motson's going to get him from behind. Boy, Weston Motson just relentless right there, Justin.
Yeah, guys, I don't think they're not going to be able to run concepts with this cat.
How about this?
It's going to be, they're going to chunk it deep and run the ball, and hopefully we keep stuffing it because if that kid has to play, it's going to be a good night for us.
So 4th down and 8 following the Weston Monson sack. It's been a big first quarter for number 15. A forced fumble and a sack, and now Bryant's going to punt it away as Grayson King puts his foot into it. A spiraling punt that is fielded by Poot back at the 15-yard line, and he's going to return it to the 20, and that's where the Panthers will put it in play. 1st down and 10, Benton at the 20-yard line. Justin, what would you like to see on this second possession for the Benton offense?
I think this first play is very important. We need to make sure that we're not getting behind the sticks. Just efficiency, and I think Drew's going to dial some stuff up here. We got to have pre-snap movement to dictate kind of their alignment.
So here we go. 1st down and 10. Panthers. Drew with a quick pass out to Collett. Collett makes the catch. Going to carry up to the 28-yard line to Corey Smith, the talented senior already committed to Oklahoma, a 2-year All-Stater at Parkview, makes the tackle. It is 2nd down and 2 for the Panthers at their own 28-yard line.
And that's the kind of 2nd down we really need, Dio.
Yeah.
Staying on schedule. Give it off to Gunnar Deaton. He runs into Thomas Cornelius at the 30-yard line, but they're going to move the sticks. 1st down is, little Gunner sticks his nose in there and picks up the 1st down.
Hey, that's a big run, guys. I mean, that's a big run. That's a huge defensive line that he's running up into.
Yes.
And he was able to get the necessary yards.
Well, every first down is big right now. That was the first one of the game for Benton.
Quick pass by Drew. Catch in the slot was made by Will Carter. And Will's going to carry it up to the 38. Cornelius on the tackle. So the Panthers doing a good job staying on schedule this drive.
What a great move by Carter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how he kept his feet, didn't let a knee touch, just put his hand down. I'm not quite that flexible.
Second down and 2. Drew Davis going to keep. He's got running room and wisely picks up the first down, hits the deck to avoid the hit by Day-Day Wilson. First down, Panthers.
He lost his shoe, fellas. That's why he fell down.
Okay.
He ran out of his shoe.
I thought discretion the better part of valor. He just took a header right there, but had a blowout. First down, Benton at the 44. Davis going to reverse out, rolling to his left, throws under pressure, wide open. Collett with the catch. He's inside the 20, going to be bumped out of bounds by Terry and Jones. And you can see right there, Terry, Pooch not 100%. He's been battling injury all summer, but I will take Poot at 70% over a lot of other guys.
Absolutely. He's one of the best receivers we've had at Benton. Great job of getting out of bounds and taking a little bit of a shoulder, but big play for the Panthers, and more importantly, we're inside the red zone.
Panthers in the red zone at the Hornet 18-yard line. First down and 10 as Carter and Barger come to the near side. Easton Snellings, the sophomore. Bryson Griffiths, the junior, to the far side. Drew looks that way, looking for Snellings, overthrows him. Marker back at the 25-yard line as Terry and Jones in coverage for Bryant.
That's in the holding territory. Let's see what they come up with.
Well, I was about to say he threw it so quick. I felt like it had to be a
false start.
Yeah, guys, and I hope I'm wrong, but I think Poot may be under the tent. His hamstring did not look good after that one catch and run, so Snellings is probably going to be the guy for a while.
And Easton Snellings is an awfully good replacement. He reminds me a lot of a young Gavin Wells. As Carter motions, comes back toward the center of the field, going for Will Carter on the corner, and he couldn't make the diving catch. And boy, it wasn't for lack of effort.
No, but he had him open too. That was a great route. Just needed a little bit more air under it.
And Will Carter asking to come out after extending himself. Cordy Anderson will check in. We'll see Cordy play receiver some, Justin.
Yeah, you know, in that pre-snap movement, you know, that's an identifier to see what coverage they're in. And Drew's dialing up some really good plays right now. We just got to connect.
A lot of movement here as the Panthers go bunch to the near side. Pitch it to Gunner on second down and 15, and the Hornets just strung that one out and lost back to the 25. Ryan Horn on the tackle.
That one looked like Bryant knew the play.
Well, that one had to do with physics, guys.
Yeah.
That was 290 pounds versus about 170.
Yeah, that was definitely some physics involved there.
So third down and 17, Benton at the Hornet 25-yard line as Drew Davis looks to the sideline. Drew Harris, the new Benton offensive coordinator, signals in the play. Davion Williams, new wide receiver coach, also giving a signal. Going to go to keep it on the ground with Gunnar Deaton. And Deaton is going to be hemmed up by Sam Nelson. Nelson playing with that Guardian cap on, number 48 for Bryant. It looks like the Panthers going to try a field goal here with Gabe Wilbur going to put the tee down at the 31. 41-yard field goal attempt. Easton Snellings will hold. Cason Wright will snap as the Panthers going to try to get first points on the board.
Now listen, guys, the Panthers have a real weapon with Wilbur. I've seen him hit one from 50 yards out. He can definitely kick the ball.
Did it in the maroon-gray game. Snap from right, perfect hold, plenty of leg, and the kick is good. Wilbur drills it from 40 yards out, and with 2:04 to go in the first quarter, the Benton Panthers have drawn first blood 3-0. Dio, that was a great drive by the Panthers.
That was it. They showed a little bit of life. I mean, you hate to lose Collett like that. Hopefully he's able to come back, but if he's not, what a way to end it, though. Coming out, kicking a 40-yard field goal, that's something now we've seen our kicking game over the past several years really be elevated. But, boy, it's nice to see a kid come out and to me, I was thinking about golf when you end up playing through and you have to tee off in front of, some strangers.
Right.
Yeah, you never hit that drive straight.
Yeah.
He drilled that one, though.
Yeah, that one would have been good from.
He could have easily been
yards.
Easily.
He reminds me his development so much of his big brother Lucas. They barely got it over the crossbar in 8th grade, and by 11th grade they're booming it as the Panthers try an onside kick, and coming up with a recovery for Bryant was number 49 Jake Elliott, all-conference baseball player back in the spring. So Brad Harris tried to pull a fast one right there. The Hornets were prepared for it, and they'll open in Benton territory at the 49. Didn't get the Benton starters for you. Let's get them now. Drake Woodard is an end. Avian Beard, the nose man. Connor Stevens at the jack. Bryson Mattia at an outside linebacker. Monson and Shelton, the inside linebackers. Holloway and A.P. Lewis is in there at a corner this time as Shelby is at quarterback for Bryant, and he's going to lose a yard back to the 50-yard line. Drake Woodard going to get credited with the tackle for loss. Austin Hill is the bandit. Corey Anderson, the free safety. Major Holloway, the spur.
Well, Bryant going with a little bit of a quarterback change here. Maybe put a quarterback that's got a little bit more of a run game to him just in case. But you got to wonder how many snaps Shelby's gotten during the week in preparation for this. That's got to have an impact.
5'10", 160-pound junior. He's going to hand it off to Colin Robinson, and Robinson is going to be down to the 42-yard line, tackled by Austin Hill. Robinson, a senior, out all last year with a torn ACL, so good to see that young man back out for his senior season. And it'll be 3rd down and 3 Hornets at the Benton 42. A minute to go in the first period. Benton leads at 3-0. It's the strength of the formation to the right. Give it to Robinson again, and he is going to plow his way. Look at the Hornet offensive line with the surge. Robinson still going, and all the way down to the 28-yard line.
Well,
boy, the Panthers were trying, Terry. They just couldn't get him down.
They were trying, but it's like that old thing that you told a long time ago. If you're the guy that's closest to the goal line, fall down.
His Avian Beard is going to check out. Checking in at noseman is Jonathan Bianchi, 6'1", 230-pound junior. And the Hornets have it 1st down and 10 at the Benton 28-yard line. Last time the Hornets were this deep in Benton territory, Weston Monson forced a fumble. Bryson Mattia recovered. See if the Benton defense can bow up again as Shelby takes a shotgun snap, hands it off to Robinson, and Robinson is going to dart to the end zone for a Hornet score as the first quarter expires. Bryant with their first score of the season. It's 6-3 Hornets, and quite frankly, I wonder why they hadn't been doing that all night. They came out firing it all over the park, and they just decided to bow up and run it right there, Terry.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's where their advantage in this game is. I mean, they're carrying, 40 pounds a man across the front. And, that time we said that the danger for the Panthers was going to be picking the wrong hole. And that time they ran right into the blitz, and there was nobody there.
Grayson King on for the extra point. Keenan Lattin will hold. Cooper Billingsley will snap. Perfect snap and hold. King's kick hits the upright and is no good. The first quarter comes to an end, And it is 6 for the Hornets, 3 for the Panthers, as we will take a break and come back with the second quarter of tonight's Salt Bowl on M&M Productions.
At First Security, we've been investing in our home state since 1932, growing deep roots and even deeper relationships. We're part of Arkansas. It's part of us. Today, we put all of that history and stability to good use for you, pouring our resources into the people and places we love best. Arkansas communities, Arkansas families, and Arkansas futures. First Security. Think better.
The Everett difference means we are committed to giving back to the communities we serve.
When I think of Everett, I think of them more than just a car dealership.
Everett's involvement in the community is phenomenal. I see it in the police and fire department. I see it in Boys and Girls Club.
Their heart is in this community.
And I think Everett does a great job making sure they have a positive, lasting impact.
We are grateful for the opportunity to serve. Discover the Everett difference for yourself.
Welcome back to a packed-out Palace. One quarter in, Hornets lead at 6-3. Grayson King will kick off for Bryant. Bryson Griffiths and Will Carter back to return for Benton. Griffiths fields it on the hop. Going to return it over the 20 to the 22-yard line, and that's where Benton will put it in play. First down, Zach Curtis Jones on the tackle and special teams for Bryant. It's good to see Poot Collett out there in the huddle as Benton tries to answer the Hornets score. Of course, college football cranks up tomorrow. Braylon Russell and the Arkansas Razorbacks will be playing. I'm going to Jonesboro to watch Walker Davis and the Red Wolves. Walker listed as a co-starter at center on the Red Wolf depth chart going into that one. So quick pass by Walker's little brother Drew out to Gunnar Deaton, and Gunnar picks up 3, second down and 7.
Little quick out.
I know we've got alums at college campuses all over that have pitched in, bought the pay-per-view. So big hello to all the Benton Panthers scattered across campuses. Even got some military outfits watching it together, and we'll talk about that a little bit later as Drew Davis keeps to the 28-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and 4 for the Panthers.
That was a good job by Drew that time, recognizing the coverage. All of his receivers were covered, and he just pulled the ball down, D.O., and got some positive yards.
Well, I'm glad he did that. I'm curious to hear what Justin thinks right here, because this is one of those weird distances to me. I don't know as a coach that I would really like this distance.
3rd down and 4. Drew looks, throws, catch. Nice leaping catch by Will Carter. First down. Will points. Boy, Justin, you can see the maturation just in the build and body of Will Carter. He looks like a totally different young man out there to me.
Yeah, I think Will is a guy that creates matchup problems across the board. They're very talented, but I think Will's the best receiver on the field.
5'10", 175-pound senior. Low snap. Drew going to throw off his back foot. J.C. Barger makes the catch. He's going to have the first down to the 46. And I tell you, that's what John Curtis brings you. He brings you a threat out of the wide that we really didn't have last year, Terry.
That's exactly right. And you mark my word, John Curtis Barger is going to be a difference maker this season. He is going to play a major role in this offense.
Maybe not the blocking prowess of a Bronson Koulis, but he's going to catch the ball as Drew wide open. Look at him, J.C. Barger all the way into Bryant territory at the 36. And Justin the Y sneaking in there on back-to-back catches.
Guys, that was a phenomenal job by Drew Davis. He checked down to his 3rd progression. We ran a mesh concept, and he did a fantastic, that's the high-level throw right there and a high-level progression.
Yeah, I was about to say, the way he stood in there as the pressure surrounded him, you could tell he was changing his mind about who he was throwing to, and when he decided, he just flicked it.
It was a senior to a senior. Go to the ground, and Gunnar Deaton would good running yardage to the 32-yard line. Jayton Jones, who started last year in the Salt Bowl, is now a backup. That tells you the depth of Bryant on that D-line.
That's right. Well, and you saw what the coaches really like about Gunnar Deaton that time. He was very patient, skipped around in the pocket, and found a hole to get downfield.
Panthers go quads to the left, an empty gun for Drew. He's going to throw. Will Carter makes a catch. He's looking, pulls it down and runs, and is bumped out of bounds by Ryan Young. That was going to be the double pass, and I think Coach Ray is out on the field even. He got
I knew it was coming, and I saw it. As soon as we shifted, they were out of alignment, and I think Drew's going to come back to that, Coach Harris, and see that and just throw quick screens out of it because we had four receivers and they had 1.5 defensive players.
It's a numbers game. 3rd down and 2. Drew going to keep. He's following his blockers to a first down. And I like seeing the big sophomore wearing Parker Glaze's old jersey. Barrett Pettit helping lead the way. First down, move the chains, Benton at the 22.
This is a great drive right now by the Panther offense. Very, very, very methodical, very patient, and eating up that clock while controlling the game.
Panthers go back to quads to the near side. There's the quick game to Poot. And Poot's going to carry it down to the 20-yard line. Number 48 for the Hornets. In on the tackle is Sam Nelson.
Yeah, Nelson, one of the big defensive ends for them. But, boy, he's got great speed. You saw him chase down a receiver that time. Hold the Panthers to 2 yards.
See several of these Hornets playing with the Guardian caps on. I see 3 of them out there right now. 2nd down and 7 for the Panthers in the red zone. Handed off to Brendan Murdoch. He's going to be tripped up by Malachi McDonald. And Malachi, all 5'10", 290 pounds, he is just built like a future GAC defensive lineman to be.
It looks like a fire plug.
Yeah, the Panthers were getting a little sloppy on that center snap. That time through the timing of that play off, Panthers weren't able to move the ball.
So 3rd down and 8 Benton at the Hornet 20-yard line. Carter motions out. Perfect snap from Johnson. Drew going for the one-on-one to Griffiths. And he was pushed out of bounds by Matthew Ferguson, but the side judge's hat came off. I guess Griffiths stepped out of bounds before he was bumped out of bounds, and we're going to see a Gabe Wilbur field goal try again. Justin, when the line judge throws his hat like that means your receiver went out of bounds first, correct?
That's what it's supposed to mean, Jim, but that's not what happened. I was watching. I knew exactly what the play was called, and he shoved our receiver out of bounds, and he threw the hat off. So I'm not real sure. I saw Coach Shaw getting in the Stripes' head right there.
Wilbur's field goal attempt is up, and it looks like Gabe pushed it just a bit to the right. No good. So the Hornet defense is held with perhaps a little help. And it remains 6-3 with 7:35 to go, and it's been a quick-moving first half.
It has, and it's not at all. This is not at all the game I anticipated this to be whatsoever. And it does seem a little odd how fast it's gone. And the fact that Bryant really didn't even go to the run game until that last series, I'm a little bit confused about what's going on here tonight, to be honest with you.
You've had all summer to prepare for this, and it's not unfolding as you anticipated.
No, not at all.
So Shelby back in at quarterback. And Shelby hands off that time to Zach Curtis Jones. He picks up a couple of yards in the middle. Dakota Manchak in there. That last name brings back memories, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Manchak.
Dio, I can tell you what's happening. You're seeing a Panther defense that's standing in there and firing through gaps and causing a lot of confusion in that Bryant backfield and keeping the Panthers in the game.
2nd down and 8 as Shelby drops back. He lofts it up for Latin, and that is great coverage to separate the ball.
Well, that was
by
great coverage.
Messiah Holloway.
Guys, that's as good as you can cover that. I mean, that's fantastic coverage by Messiah Holloway. Stayed with the receiver, got his hands up when the ball got there, and then ripped it out of his hands. Just absolute fantastic play.
Well, and the refs are letting him play a little bit because we've definitely seen games where that's pass interference because he reached before the ball got there.
But we're not at Lake Hamilton.
Judd Hart is at Lake Catherine. Appreciate him checking in with us. Is Shelby going to throw on third down, and that one batted away. How about Messiah Holloway back to back?
Yeah, he's playing some good defense tonight. I like how he's being aggressive with it. And I mean, if they're going to let him push our players out of bounds and reach up and maybe mess with the receiver's hands a little before the ball gets there, I'm okay with that if it's even.
Brad Harris said this is the crew that could play more man-to-man defensive coverage than any he's ever had.
Yeah.
And you saw Messiah in man coverage as the snap bobble.
No.
Grayson King picks it up, and he's going to run for a first down. Oh, mercy.
Oh, my goodness, man.
That's a momentum killer right there when a
Dude.
mistake benefits you.
That is such a tragedy. Because it wasn't a called play.
No,
it
it
was just a bad snap, and all he had was to run with it, and he just had a good enough lane to get past the down marker. And that's a huge blow for the Panthers.
Did we have, Justin, too many guys bailing out to set up the return?
To be honest with you, I thought everything was set up perfect for us. We call that a Bryant bounce around here. They tend to make mistakes, and all of a sudden they win ball games because of it. I am a homer, though.
Yes, you are.
It's okay, Justin. We're all in that same boat, my friend.
We've lived those dreams as well.
But now listen, if you get a penalty flag on the broadcast team because you're out on that field, rookie, I'm going to tell you right now, you want to see Jim Gardner get mad. Well,
I know the white hat personally, and he told me that I'm allowed to get to the numbers.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my.
I mean, we haven't had a sideline guy that can actually get out to the numbers.
Now, that is a hall pass.
That is a hall pass.
For sure. Hey, I'd like to say hi to Miss Mandy at St. Augustine, Florida.
Oh, one of my favorite cities.
Isn't it a beautiful place?
Absolutely beautiful.
So opening weekend of football season, you fly her down to see her best friend for Labor Day, and then it's a win-win.
It's a win-win.
Man, you're winning right now.
Absolutely. So as Bryant's misfortune turned into a first down thanks to a heady run by Grayson King, Shelby going to be back out there at quarterback for the Hornets as they have it 1st and 10 at the 33. Shelby bobbles the snap, and boy, that play blows up. And
well, they're having some snap issues over there. This is, Bryant is not nearly as dialed as I expected him to be, and I think that's what has got me a little bit confused.
Well, right now they're struggling at the quarterback position. They're not executing on timing with the quarterback position, and that takes the speed of the rest of your team out of the game.
Absolutely, it does. When you mess up that timing, it screws everything up. But that's been the last two plays have been snap issues.
Yeah, that one was way wide right as Shelby gets a perfect snap this time, lofts it up for Tucker, who makes a leaping catch in Benton territory down to the 37-yard line. And you see the D1 ability right there of the 5'11", 170-pound senior commit to Charlotte University in North Carolina, and now Bryant's going to go turbo tempo.
Yeah, they're going to go right back at him.
We've got one injured that can't get off the field. We got 12 men on the field. Now Benton had to take a timeout. As Coach Harris was begging Major Holloway to go down, he was trying to limp to the sideline, couldn't get there. And the Panthers had to take a timeout with 5:32 to go in the first half. Last year it was 52-42. It's 6-3. I think that may be part of what's got you in a funk, Theo.
Well, it is. Last year, it was just two powerhouse offenses just, trading blows. And this year, it's just been kind of, Bryant's defense has played well. They've stopped us when they needed to. It's their offense that's got me.
Yeah.
I don't mean any offense to them, and I think they'll get it straightened out, but they don't look like a top 25 team in the nation right now.
Well, this is what we expected out of Bryant's defense.
Yes.
We expected them to be a little bit dominant, but we did expect the speed of the Bryant offense to be a major factor in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, the missed snaps, all of the things that have gone on in their backfield, some of it created by us, has really kept them off tempo.
First down and 10, Hornets. Shelby with a quick out to Tucker, who makes the catch in front of A.P. Lewis. Steps out of bounds at the Benton 29-yard line. Flip side of that is the Benton offense has done a good job moving the ball between the 20s against this stout Bryant Hornet defense. Second down and 2, Bryant at the Benton 29-yard line. 4 receivers set, 1 back in the backfield as Shelby lofts it in the corner for Kamari Austin, who just flat beat Cordell Payne, makes the catch, steps out of bounds at the 4. It'll be first and goal Hornets.
Well, the thing is that is the speed that we were just talking about. If they make that first move to the outside and get the defender behind them, we don't have the speed to fix that. And so if you throw a perfect ball like that, that's just really hard to defend.
Something tells me Big Brother Elias may get on little brother on that one. First down and goal for the Hornets at the Benton 40-yard line. Hornets moving toward the north end zone here in the second quarter. As they hand it off to Colin Robinson. He darts out to the left, and that's a good job by Trey Stewart, first one to make contact. They're actually going to mark it back at the 5 for a loss of 1, second and goal.
Yeah, that's a good job of keeping your feet underneath you and keeping the offensive player in front of you. And a good job of gang tackling by the Panther defense, swarming to the ball.
Well, and Robinson is not an easy guy to bring down. I don't know what his measurables are.
5'11", 205.
Yeah, that's a good size running back.
Put Curtis Jones back in this time. Stretches it wide. Gets good blocking on the edge, and it's a touchdown for the Hornets.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the linebackers on the inside, I fully expected that play coming because he's just got so much speed that if you give him that, he's going to get to the outside.
So 12-3, Bryant advances the lead with 4:31 to go in the first half. Grayson King on for the extra point. Keenan Latin to hold. Boy, he hit a knuckleball that just barely snuck through the right upright. It's good. 4:31 to go. 13-3 now in favor of the Hornets. And Justin, play offensive coordinator here. What do you want to see at the end of the first half?
Yeah, I think our offense is doing phenomenal. I'd like to see the stat line, how many plays we ran, and the efficiency. We're doing a great job, like you guys mentioned a second ago, in between the 20s. What makes Bryant very, very difficult is once they get in the red zone, their defense stiffens up and they get ultra aggressive. And when they're more athletic than you are, it makes it hard. So we need to have some explosive plays and score from outside the 20 if possible.
As Justin told you, just saw the most magnificent camera work of the sky. Purple and orange, God's favorite matching colors. Puts it in the sunset sky every night. Man, just a beautiful night here in Benton, Arkansas. King will kick off. Puts his foot into it. Boy, that's a very good kickoff. High driving kick. He averaged 50% touchbacks last year, according to Hooten's preseason magazine. And boy, it's not just the length on that deal, the height.
The hang time on that. That was a college level kick.
Boy, it's good to be back in the booth.
Oh, man.
Woo! Wait for this all year long.
Just got my first text message of the season from Morgan Garrett. She is cheering at home with her Jesus Won t-shirt on. Snap back, Drew rolling to the right, throwing on the comeback, and he throws it wide of Will Carter, incomplete. Second down and 10. 4:25 to go. Got the old Benton Panther offensive guard Henry Hicks spotting for us again this year. Glad Henry's working back at home.
Yeah.
You know, he's not in Minnesota or Montana or some far-flung place this year.
Yeah, he can't go back to Montana unless he takes me.
There you go. Second down, Drew. Boy, he came out of his shoe again.
That hurt.
And he is thrown to the ground by number 4 for the Hornets. That's Matthew Nelson, and he is a defensive end commit to Oklahoma. Yes, they have 2 future Sooners on that starting defense.
Yeah, we need a little athletic tape, I think, on the sidelines to tape some shoes on.
We need John Wooden to come give the shoe tying, putting your socks and shoes on lesson.
That was the first practice, wasn't it?
This is how you tie your shoes.
Mama D, we're putting in an order for new shoestrings. Third down and 23. Drew drops back. He's pressured. He pumps and runs, and Drew going to reach over the 10-yard line, but it's going to be 4th and forever, and Benton going to have to punt it away as Matthew Nelson makes his presence known on back-to-back plays. Bryant Davis also in there for the Hornets on that tackle, and Dawson Daves is going to have to kick it away. As Connor Stevens will snap. Kind of a danger zone here, Terry, having to punt out of your own end zone, down 10 late in the first half.
Yeah, it looks like they're not coming after it, though. They're going to try to get a good return and set themselves up with field position.
Snap. Davis's kick, an end-over-end punt that's fielded by Tucker at the 45. Well, they run a little option pitch to Jacoby Boone, and that is an outstanding tackle by Connor Blankenship. And I've never seen almost like an option pitch on a punt return, Dio.
Yeah, that was actually, when I first saw him going to make the pitch, I thought, uh-oh, this is not good. But then Connor Blankenship came out of nowhere like a shot.
Well, that is designed for a home run.
Yeah.
And Connor Blankenship just took it away from him by staying in his lane and playing where he was supposed to be playing.
He robbed it over the fence.
Fantastic.
Connor led the freshman in interceptions 2 years ago, made a spectacular tackle. And it's 1st and 10 Hornets at the 41. They go back to Robinson. And boy, I am impressed with him as he continues to churn down to the 25. Robinson was a linebacker as a sophomore, missed last year due to injury, and now he's at running back, and he has been, you talk about Hodges and Curtis Jones being the college prospects. Robinson has led them on the ground in this first half.
Yeah, he's certainly running strong. He's got a huge hole to run through, too.
1st and 10 Hornets at the 25. Moats back in there at quarterback and try to get it out to Austin. And that was a great job by Logan Hipskin to knock it away.
Sure was. Logan's a senior. Getting out, that was a really good play. He had good coverage, but he also got his hand around Dio and knocked that ball out of his hands.
Yeah, he did a great job. Perfect timing on that.
2nd down and 10. Panthers with 2 down linemen, 4 linebackers. Lob for Austin, overthrown, incomplete as he.
Boy, that's he made one move to the inside and it was over. And quarterback Moats just sailed it and missed a wide open touchdown.
Cordell Payne checks in for Hipskin. Now going to bring Drake Woodard out, put Connor Stevens on the field, drop Bryson Mattia down to a defensive end. So a lot of moving parts as Brad Harris trying to figure out this defense in the early going. With so few returners, a lot of guys getting a chance to make a name for themselves tonight. Is under pressure, Moats throws incomplete, and that time they dialed up the pressure, Terry, and Moats had to get rid of it before he wanted to.
Yeah, that was great defensive pressure. Moats really didn't have anybody to throw to. It was good coverage downfield, and he did about the only thing he could do, which was throw it in the turf.
Are they going to try to kick a field goal here?
Yep. Grayson King going to come on and try a 42-yarder.
Well, I mean, the way he's been kicking extra points, I don't...
He's centered up. You know,
45-yard
Trey
range.
Stewart blocked 2 field goals last year.
Sure did.
Let's see if we can't get one this year.
Snap back to Latin, hold down. Grayson King hits a screwball that lands 5 yards into the end zone. So, Dio, you called it. Nothing really impressive in his first 2 PATs, and he just absolutely hit a screwball that time, so Benton defense holds.
Well, and I'm thinking if I'm Bryant, I'm probably going to go for that on 4th down. I mean, worst case scenario, it ends up exactly like it ended up right now. Best case scenario, you get a 1st down or a touchdown. You know, that's where Coach Justin, what would you do right there if that's your call on offense?
I would want to go for it.
That's kind of what I thought. I was surprised that they did that.
I'll tell you, this drive, I'd really like to see Drew run the ball a little bit, milk this clock down a little bit, and then be aggressive once we get to the 1-minute mark.
Drew going to lob it up, and Bryson Griffiths kind of lost his footing. He comes up, looks like he's got a cramp. It's intercepted and returned into Benton territory as Will Carter makes the tackle. Coming up with the interception was Aaron Austin, and poor Bryson is doing everything he can to get to the sideline. We've got flags all over the place at midfield.
Well, I don't know who that was that got blocked, but they got blindside blocked. Was that Collett? Somebody got lit up.
Yeah, it looks like Collett's pretty lit up.
So the interception return was into Benton territory. Flags lying at midfield, so should step off 15 yards against the Hornets and back them up around the 35-yard line, and that's exactly the call. Personal foul, blindside block will move the ball back to the 35.
Well, give Bryant the ball back and enough time. Defense has got to step right back up, and that's brutal to just hold like that, and then one play later have to go right back out there and do it all over again.
Boy, you hate it because you could see Bryson get gimpy before the end of the pass. Drew going to get credited with an interception, but you could tell Bryson was cramping up in his route.
Yeah, Drew's going to get credited with an interception, but it really wasn't on him. He threw the ball where it was supposed to be on that route, but there was just nobody there to catch it, and just an unfortunate play.
Aaron Austin with the interception. 1st down for the Hornets after a 10-yard Hodges run. They throw it to Kamari Austin, and he's into Panther territory before Austin Hill makes the tackle at the Benton 44-yard line. Austin, no relation to Isaac Hill. I'm kind of used to those Hills in the defensive secondary.
Yeah. Well, going back to Shelby, you can tell there's a little difference in the Bryant offense between their 2 quarterbacks. Shelby seems to have a little bit more of a command of it.
Tucker with the catch, steps out of bounds with 59 seconds to go at the Benton 31, and it does. Shelby does seem to have a poise that Moats may not have gained yet in his first varsity start.
Yeah,
this is a tough game to be your first varsity start.
Well, I haven't seen him play yet, and Shelby's got a smooth arm.
throws that one underneath. It was tipped by Mattia and caught on the deflection by Tucker at the 20. Trey Stewart on the tackle.
And that's another Bryant bounce, right, Justin? That's what he's talking about.
That's exactly right, but I'll tell you this, if it wasn't deflected, that may have been a touchdown.
Okay, well, we'll take that.
Empty gun. Shelby scrambles, hits the big tight end Cooper Billingsley, who rumbles down to the 4-yard line with 35 seconds, and it's 1st and goal Hornets. And the Hornets going to call timeout with 35.6 seconds remaining. 13-3, Bryant leads, and big set of downs right here, guys, with Hornets with 2 timeouts remaining in the first half, leading 13-3. Terry, would you think Bryant would just try to pound it in here with 2 timeouts remaining?
Well, yeah, you would, especially as well as they've run the ball. And going into this game, I thought we were going to see a lot of that. I didn't think that we would see a lot of passing from their offense just because physics. I mean, they're just bigger and stronger than us up front, and I felt like that they would come in and really try to mash the ball on us, but they haven't done that yet in the first half. But we'll see what the second half looks like.
So 13-3, 35.6 seconds remaining. I want you to stick with us for the Hamilton Family Dentistry halftime show. Since it's a celebration of Saline County tonight, why not bring in the Saline County judge? Good friend Matt Brumley is going to visit with us at halftime. And may have a special shout-out up his sleeve. Been sitting on that one the whole first half. So 1st down and goal, Hornets at the Benton 4-yard line. One back in the backfield. I believe that's Hodges. And Shelby fakes and pulls, and nobody was home. That was a great fake by Kyler Shelby, and he goes untouched to the end zone, and the Hornet lead extends to 19-3.
I'm being told that we sound like chipmunks because there's a problem with the stream, so in honor of that, Alvin!
Big hello to Trey and Calvin watching together. That's a relationship divided, a Panther and a Hornet. As Grayson King makes nothing out of that one. And so bad snap punt. He runs for a 1st down. Bad snap PAT. And it did not bounce their way that time.
It did not, finally.
So 30.8 seconds left. Bryant up 19-3, and Justin, where other coaches would just receive the ball, take a knee, and go to halftime, something tells me if you've rubbed off on Drew Harris, we may see something sneaky.
Yeah, I know he's got a lot of situational plays. We tend to add some to the bag every single year, so he's probably got about 10 coming in, and we're not going to lay it down here. We're definitely going to go try to score, maybe get in field goal range. Wilbur hit a 40-yarder a second ago, and it looked like he would have been good for 55. So let's go get it.
I'm trying to remember, did you ever call for your offense to take a knee?
I did not. Brad Harris might have.
Okay. So Grayson King, who has had an eventful first half for the Hornets, punting and kicking. And he's been tackled twice as a kicker on a muffed punt and then a muffed PAT. Kicks off Will Carter, fields it on the run. And Will had the ball separated. Antonio Shelton is Johnny on the spot to fall on it at the 20. And that's where Benton will put it in play. 1st down, trailing 19-3. And we'll see if the Panthers sit on it or air it out here.
That could have been ugly had they
Antonio Shelton made the play of the game for us. That would have been terrible.
Panthers huddle up. Something we're not real familiar with.
Yeah, I think the play here is maybe to run it something high percentage. If something pops, then you can get into a 2-minute situation. But other than that, be safe.
That's exactly what they do with Gunnar Deaton. He's looking for a block on the edge from Cordy Anderson, and Gunnar going to scoot out of bounds around the 25-yard line, chased out there by Terrion Jones after a 5-yard gain. It's 2nd down and 5. Clock stops with 18.7 seconds in the first half.
What's tough to get outside of these guys? This Bryant defense has got some speed.
Oh,
yes,
man, their speed's incredible.
Gunnar just bulldozes himself to the 26. And that is going to do it for the first half, as Brad Harris says, now let's just get inside, make some adjustments.
We can get the ball the second half.
Yep. So good competitive first half tonight here at the Palace. Teams go to the locker room with the Hornets up 19-3 over the Panthers in the 2025 Salt Bowl. Brought to you by M&M Productions. We're going to take a break, come back with our Hamilton Family Dentistry halftime guest, Saline County Judge Matt Brumley.
Hey, welcome to Westside. How can I help you?
We're all in this community.
And then you see somebody, come by the pharmacy, and it's somebody that you went to high school with, and they have a son or a daughter that's playing sports at the same place that you played.
We get to know our patients. We get to know kind of what's going on. We keep our pharmacy techs, clerks for years. You're going to know them. You go to church with them. You go to school with them.
Somebody's like, I'm sick and I'm at home, and it's late and on the weekend. Well, I'm coming your way.
The Everett difference means we treat everyone with respect and honesty. Our customers know firsthand how that feels.
You are their main focus.
They're all working toward the same common goal, which is providing exceptional customer experience.
Everett has earned our trust.
Everett always gives me the best deal. Always.
Everett made it happen.
That's the only place we will ever buy a car from, ever.
We are grateful for the opportunity to serve. Discover the Everett difference for yourself. The Everett difference means we take care of our customers before, during, and after the sale. Our customers can tell you our approach to service just feels different.
I always feel very confident that they're going to take care of me. They're very detailed with every job that they perform.
When we bring in our vehicles for service, Everett gets us in and out.
They got everything taken care of quickly and efficiently and got me back on the road really fast.
We are grateful for the opportunity to serve. Discover the Everett difference for yourself.
Midtown Plumbing services over 1 million square feet of commercial property in Little Rock. And they've also provided plumbing needs to thousands of residential clients all over Central Arkansas. Along with residential and commercial plumbing, Midtown also provides water heater sales, sewer repair, remodeling services, and 24-hour emergency plumbing. Midtown Plumbing, just a phone call away. 501-426-5900. MidtownMechanicalServices.com.
Hi, I'm Miranda Kirkendall, owner and advanced nurse injector here at Solux Aesthetics in the heart of downtown Benton. I've had the pleasure of serving our community for the last 4 years. At Solux, it's not about changing who you are, it's about making you feel comfortable and confident in your own skin with the results that look natural and true to you. Whether it's Botox, filler, or skin treatment, I focus on results that look fresh, natural, and unique. I'd love for you to stop by and see me at 149 South Market Street or give me a call at 501-249-4177.
At First Security, we've been investing in our home state since 1932, growing deep roots and even deeper relationships. We're part of Arkansas. It's part of us. Today, we put all of that history and stability to good use for you.
'25 Salt Bowl. Brian Hortitz lead the Benton Panthers 19-3 at halftime. Our Hamilton Family Dentistry halftime guest is Saline County Judge Matt Brumley. And Matt, welcome.
Jim, thanks for asking me. Yeah, I'm going to be the best halftime guest you've had all season long. I'm just going to guarantee that right now.
So you are setting the bar for others to go over or under?
Well, I'm going to say over. If you know my stature, my bars are typically pretty low.
Hey, what's it like being the mayor of the county to see this game come back home.
Yeah, Saline County judge, but all the people that love me say you're not a real judge.
Right.
So yeah, not the black gown, powdered wig judge, but yeah, more like the mayor of the county, the unincorporated areas. And to answer your question, it's been one of the greatest honors of my life. I mean, you just look around here. I was thinking about it when I was looking out, and I was like, I get to serve all of these people. You know, I'm not going to do the best job every day. I'm going to learn. I'm going to fail. But you do that if you put yourself out there and serve. And so this has been one of the greatest honors ever. I'm going to keep doing it as long as the people will let me keep doing it. And I just absolutely love this town, this community, this county, this state.
Yeah. When you think about this game coming back to Saline County, first time since 2005.
Yeah.
You like it?
I do. I love it. You know, I got here at 4 o'clock this afternoon, and for people to be able to leave their business and just drive across town and then promote what they're doing to their neighbors and their people of their community that they serve, it just has a different feel. Now, the people at War Memorial, man, bless them. They were absolutely great hosts. But this is a great game in our county, and now it's back in our county, and I absolutely love the feel of it. And I think this was a fantastic move.
Couldn't agree more. What's going on in the county right now? What are some things to get on people's radar?
You know, there's so much going on right now. We're in the middle of partnering with the city of Benton, the city of Bauxite, and many others as we build the 26.1 mile portion of the Southwest Trail. We just put up the oldest bridge in the state of Arkansas in its original location at the end of River Street, and it's something to go see, to bring your families to. We already are, but we're going to become a destination point where people come and they see our greatest resource, and our greatest resource is actually our people. People talk about, man, what's going on in Saline County, that people are so kind, and they actually, when they say, how are you doing, they want a real answer. They care. And so anything that we can do to continue to build upon Saline County, one of the things that happens in this county, we've got 7 mayors in this county, and we work with them just hand in glove. Our friends, Mayor Treat and Mayor Farmer, Mayor Crookham, all these mayors in this town work together because we know we don't do things to improve things for ourselves, but the people we serve, and it has been just great working with them.
Speaking of service, your service extends beyond just what you do in an official capacity as one of the founders of Amplify. That has been such a blessing to our county and really to a community beyond our county. I know the weather this year was brutally hot, but it was still a wonderful weekend of worship.
Well, you look in Saline County in the month of August, and we've had 2 events that have had over 50,000 people at those events combined from over 24 states at Amplify. And it was nothing more than just a bunch of volunteers getting together to put together something absolutely incredible. Now, you know, I tell people that the county judge is a job of mine, but my main job is doing things where I'm promoting Jesus. And we were able to do that very loud, and just so proud of the way that people turn out and show people love and grace and mercy and respect. Not just at a thing called Amplify where you may expect that, but at a thing called the Salt Bowl, where our young leaders on these fields and cheering on the sidelines, they inspire and encourage me, and the coaches showing such a great example of how you walk out. You're going to walk out of Benton High School and Bryant High School, and you're going to make our state greater because of how they were brought up in Saline County.
Yeah, and that was on very sincere display at the press conference Wednesday.
Oh, my goodness. You know, I'm just going to say there were some questions asked about favorite songs and superstitions and what kind of chicken strips do you like. But then there was a question asked about what has your coach shown or done that will make you a better man when you leave here. These were just the players from Benton and Bryant. And time again, I mean, I'm talking about Coach Drew Harris was mentioned 4 out of 4 times from his side. And it is just that. What is most important in keeping the main thing, and that's Jesus. And I'm going to tell you, that would not have been the answer coming out of senior in high school Matt Brumley's mouth. And that wasn't what was important to me. I missed the most important thing. And so just to see that love and respect from the maroon and the blue together, they got up, shake each other's hands, and hug each other. And the coaches did the same thing first. They're watching, they're learning, and they're going to be great.
And so we get all caught up and wrapped up in the economic victory of the Salt Bowl.
Yeah.
Who's the victor on the scoreboard? Who keeps the trophy for the next 365 days? But I think maybe we have seen this year in a more powerful way than we ever have, victories off the field that are going to last a whole lot longer than a season or a high school career.
Yeah. People talk about who's going to win this game. There's no discussion in the people that are playing this game. They're all winners. It's absolutely incredible to see the maturity level and the respect that's being taught. Yes, from a coaching position, but from a lifelong coach position. They're going to take this with them. And, yeah, I haven't seen – I didn't experience anything like that. I'm grateful for the coaching that I got. I mean, you can tell by looking at me, I was just a stud athlete that everybody thought was going to win the Heisman at 5'8" and 123 pounds. And I only say 5'8" because that's what my driver's license said. They let me fill that in.
Let you cheat a
That's
little.
right. That's right. But, yeah, there's the real important things. The things that are important are being learned.
I know you've got a special shout-out you want to give, and pretty neat story here, so go for it.
Yeah, so I've got twin boys that graduated from Benton High School, and I got a 6th grader, the brand new Mountain View Middle School, and she thinks they built that thing for her. And her name's Maddie Grace Brumley. My son, Jacob Brumley, just graduated from High Voltage Lineman School. He is such a good young man. He's terribly unlucky and a bit clumsy, and he's seeing how close he can get to high voltage. But his brother, his twin brother, Josh Brumley, was a wrestler through high school, sustained a little bit of an injury to his shoulder that pulled him out of college wrestling. And after a year there, and he decided he was going to go to the military. And I've just seen him dedicate himself and work just so extremely hard. About 4 weeks ago, I was able to go see him graduate from basic training, and he was in a division of the Special Warfare Unit in the Air Force in San Antonio. He's now in what they call the Special Warfare Assessment and Selection, and he's listening tonight, I think, in San Antonio. And, son, my voice hasn't changed into the chipmunk voice. It's just what we got. But he's there with about 100 other guys that said, I'm going to be an airman, but I'm going to give it all I've got to be in special warfare. That as we watch the Salt Bowl here tonight, they dedicated their lives. And when I say their lives, in their creed, they say, I will give my life for this country. And it's special, and it's good. And Josh Brumley, keep winning today. Again and again and again. And thank you, son, for protecting this country and me.
Absolutely. I tell you, we are lucky, blessed, beyond fortunate to call Saline County home.
Yeah.
And, we'll root against each other for a night, but we're all going to be fans of each other. I will never forget one of the things my old buddy Freddie Reinhardt always said. As soon as the Salt Bowl was over, we get to root for Bryant the rest of the year.
Amen.
And, man, when we lock arms like those kids showed us Wednesday, and we sacrifice like your son and his comrades are doing, makes the world a better place.
It does.
So,
Jim, you and your team, what you do is important, and people look forward to this. Come out live and root them on, but when you're unable to, thank you for being there to let us see what's going on.
Absolutely. We love to do it. So, Saline County Judge Matt Brumley, we are blessed to have him as a leader of our county, and I'm blessed to call him one of my dearest friends. So, thanks, bud.
Love you.
Appreciate it. Love you, too. 7 minutes to go on the halftime clock. We'll let Judge go back out amongst the crowd, and we'll come back with halftime stats. and then hear from Coach Harris and get ready for the second half of the Salt Bowl 2025, brought to you by M&M Productions.
Midtown Plumbing services over 1 million square feet of commercial property in Little Rock. And they've also provided plumbing needs to thousands of residential clients all over Central Arkansas. Along with residential and commercial plumbing, Midtown also provides water heater sales, sewer repair, remodeling services, and 24-hour emergency plumbing. Midtown Plumbing, just a phone call away. 501-426-5900. MidtownMechanicalServices.com.
Hi, I'm Miranda Kirkendall, owner and advanced nurse injector here at Solux Aesthetics in the heart of downtown Benton. I've had the pleasure of serving our community for the last 4 years. At Solux, it's not about changing who you are, it's about making you feel comfortable and confident in your own skin with the results that look natural and true to you. Whether it's Botox, filler, or skin treatment, I focus on results that look fresh, natural, and unique. I'd love for you to stop by and see me at 149 South Market Street or give me a call at 501-249-4177.
At First Security, we've been investing in our home state since 1932, growing deep roots and even deeper relationships. We're part of Arkansas. It's part of us. Today, we put all of that history and stability to good use for you, pouring our resources into the people and places we love best: Arkansas communities, Arkansas families, and Arkansas futures. First Security. Think better.
The Everett difference means we are committed to giving back to the communities we serve.
When I think of Everett, I think of them more than just a car dealership.
Everett's involvement in the community is phenomenal. I see it in the police and fire department. I see it in the Boys and Girls Club.
Their heart is in this community.
And I think Everett does a great job making sure they have a positive, lasting impact.
We are grateful for the opportunity to serve. Discover the Everett difference for yourself.
All right, welcome back to the Salt Bowl. Hornets lead at 19-3 at halftime, and I'm going to hand it off to Terry and Dio to break down the halftime stats as Will punches those up on the screen for us.
I'm kind of excited to look at these. I was curious what it was going to look like.
Me too. You know, at the halftime score, 19-3, Bryant with the lead. Benton's going to get the ball coming out of halftime. Really important, too, for the Panthers to come out and get a really good, solid drive. And, Dio, as you look at those first half stats, I mean, not lighting the scoreboard up on offense, but we've got a pretty competitive game.
Well, I mean, the fact that Benton has held Bryant to 2 of 5 on third down conversions, and they're 1 of 1 on fourth down conversions was the
punt.
Muff snap on the punt that, you know, shouldn't have ended up being anything. But where we're struggling offensively, and I think we knew this coming into this game, was that rushing game. There's not really much of a rushing game to speak of. 13 carries for only 22 yards. That puts a lot of pressure on Drew Davis because the defense can really just load up now against the pass.
Well, it does, and you know, one of the things about the pressure on Drew Davis is not the internal pressure, it's the external pressure. And, I mean, that's the best defense they're going to face all year. And to only have 22 yards on the ground really does kind of allow that defense to pin its ears back and come after the quarterback. But, hey, how about that rush defense of the Panthers? 18 carries for 70 yards by the Bryant Hornets. And candidly, going into this game, I really thought that they were going to come in and put up some big numbers on the ground.
Well, you would expect that with the stable of running backs that they've got in the backfield. I mean, the yards per carry is what's so impressive to me. And we've seen a couple of pretty good long runs. So I'm thinking that we must have. I'd like to see some stats on the number of sacks we've had, because I know we've gotten a couple of sacks, or at least where the quarterback, you know, maybe dealt with a bad snap and got tackled in the backfield. I know it goes down as a sack, but anyway, I agree with you. 18 for 70 is not great, but 186 yards through the air, and most of that has come. You know, Kyron Shelby there in really that second quarter.
Right. Really, the majority of those yards came on 3 catches. They completed 17 passes But 3 of those were pretty big, and one of them, quite frankly, was a hanging ball that we just couldn't catch up to their speed. And that's the one thing that Bryant has taken advantage of a little bit in the passing game. When they did hit the pass, their speed really showed up, and their receivers were wide open.
Well,
and they've even missed a couple of passes that, quite frankly, could have gone for touchdowns.
Yeah, and forgive me, I called him Kyron. What was Kyron's that played for us that went to
Kyron Wells.
Yes.
Yeah, you're
Kyron
talking about
Wells,
Kyler Shelby.
Kyler. Yeah, I got the last name right. I just missed the first name, but it seemed like when they put Moats back in, and then when Shelby got another opportunity, their offense just seemed to move a little bit differently.
Yeah.
So
Shelby was 7 of 9 for 120 yards in the first half. So
okay.
He definitely the bulk of their passing offense.
Yep.
And he gives you a little bit of mobility as well. So you see why they like him as the quarterback, because he just brings so many more options to the table. And, hey, guys, it's 45 seconds left to go in the halftime of the Salt Bowl.
Wow. And
How
it's
about
not
that?
10 o'clock. It's only 8:20.
And it's only 8:20.
I'm looking to see. I don't see Coach Harris down there yet with Justin.
Well, he's walking that way. We'll catch him here in a second. Here's a little halftime update. 26-18. Glen Rose over Bauxite at halftime.
There's quite a bit of chirping on Fearless Friday this week about that one. Allegations of donuts in a coach's yard and rumors of
heaven
that all being
forbid.
made up to...
Heaven forbid you get some donuts in your yard.
So Justin's got Coach Harris.
I got Coach Harris with me. Coach, we just got out of halftime. Give us a little insight of what you told the guys, and what do you expecting to see the second half?
Well, they are who we thought we are. They're a really good football team, but, man, we've had some opportunities. And we've just made a few mistakes. The bad snap on fourth down's killing us, man. Gosh, we had a chance to get off field at 6-3. Then we kind of had a little letdown mentally. Kind of started questioning whether or not we can handle them or not. They go down and score. We're getting tired. We got a couple guys that are out. Bryson Griffith's out with a hamstring injury. Carson's got hobbled a little bit, so we're a little thin. But, we got some things that we still that we can do. The biggest challenge for our offense is control the front, man. They're kicking our tail up front right now bad. And we've got to get in front of them, and we got to protect a little bit. If we can do that, we got a few things that we think can work. It's going to be tough sledding, though, running the football against those cats. They're good. And then defensively, we just got to stay in phase. We busted a couple man concepts, just losing our eyes for a second. We're putting some pressure on the queue, but they're doing a good job. They're good up there, and our guys are playing hard right now.
Yeah, Coach, I feel like they're playing really hard, and there's been 2 or 3 key moments in the game that has really impacted the game. So hopefully the second half we can change that momentum and come out. So
we just got to play with a lot of energy the second half. We're getting a little tired, but we're going to hang on to it, okay?
That's what we do.
All right. So did Brad Harris go Dennis Green on us? They are who we thought they were?
He did.
Where's the NFL films reel, Justin?
Yeah, he definitely went Dennis Green on us. He didn't get as emotional, and it wasn't after a game, but he definitely quoted him.
They are who we thought they were, and left it at that. He didn't keep going.
Their defense definitely is who we thought they were.
Yes.
Yeah, that defense looks good, especially those linebackers. Man, they're so fast.
Well, here's the thing. We get the ball coming out. Maybe they've got, hopefully this is where we've got a couple of tricks up our sleeve. I mean, you put this, 10-19, give the defense a little bit of that morale boost. We can make this game. We can keep this game close. But like Coach Harris said, we're tired. It's the depth issue. It's hard to go up against guys that are that size and that can be rotated out too deep on the defensive line. Those offensive linemen for Benton have a chore in front of them.
Justin, if you're a part of the coaching staff again this year, what adjustments would you advise for the second half?
thought offensively we did a really good job. There's two drives we had where we covered a lot of ground. We were very efficient. And then once we get into the red zone, they stiffen up, and it's very, very difficult to score on them. To be honest with you, I think just go back to being efficient. I would really like to see Drew Davis kind of put the team on his shoulders and let's utilize him in the run game a little bit here. Eat the clock. Let's make this a one-possession game as quickly as possible, and make it get inside 5 minutes of the fourth quarter and see what happens.
And we saw Drew last week in the scrimmage with Little Rock Christian. He was almost the featured back. In that run game.
He ran the ball a ton, but I feel like there might be a little bit of protecting the heart of your offense here against this Bryant defense. You don't want to just, you don't want him going up against number 10, Ja'Cory, over there on the Ja'Cory Smith for Bryant. I mean, let's keep Drew healthy.
Kickoff fielded by Will Carter to open the second half. Will returns it over the 10, breaks a tackle, carries some Hornets up to about the 17, and that's where Bryant will put it in, or Benton will put it in place, excuse me. First down and 10, opening drive of the second half, trailing 19-3.
And then Will Carter's down, and when he caught that ball, Jim, and he started to run, he kind of pulled up a little bit. That's the reason that he's inside the 20. It looks like he cramped up.
Yeah, walking on his heels, both feet. So more pickle juice at halftime.
Yeah, boy. We with Collett injured and Griffiths out, boy, we need Carter.
So Collett is in there. Corey Anderson in there. Easton Snellings, Barger in there. Going to flip it over to Gunnar Deaton coming to the short side of the field. And he's going to be dumped for a loss back to the 16-yard line.
Yeah, it was a good play there. Ryan Horn, defensive lineman. Senior, I think.
Son of Bryant, freshman coach Kenny Horn. Second down and 11. Wonder if Henry is in the concession line. He disappeared and hadn't resurfaced here. Throw over the middle, and Poot just dropped it. Boy, that'll be the last time we see that this year. Mr. Surehands couldn't hold on to that one, 3rd and 11.
He was too open.
Yeah, I think he was looking up to see which lane he was going to take.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Boy, he was wide open.
So 3rd down and 11 for the Panthers.
Here's Henry.
He's politicking his way back up toward the press box.
Collett had 35 catches for 620 yards last year.
Drew takes a snap, throws it for Corey Anderson. Couldn't separate from Matthew Ferguson, who was with him step for step, and it'll be a 3-and-out for the Panthers to open the second half. Dawson Daves will punt it away.
Not quite the start that we wanted there.
So Jacoby Boone, Caleb Tucker back deep to return for the Hornets. Connor Stevens will snap it. Dawson puts his foot into it, kicks it toward the Benton sideline. That one's going to go out of bounds, hits on lane 3 of the track, and the Hornets will have it in Benton territory to open the second half. And in fact, they're going to have it all the way at the Benton 39-yard line. So the momentum definitely in blue right now, Terry, going into the half and now out of the half.
Yeah, 3-and-out is definitely not what we needed, but you know, when you've got your 3 biggest offensive weapons on the sidelines, that's going to be tough.
Here, coaches often talk about the last 4 and first 4. Around halftime, last 4 minutes of the second quarter, first 4 minutes of the third quarter, and Boy, it looks like Bryant is on their way to dominating that phase of the game as Colin Robinson takes it 39 yards to the house. And just a minute and 8 seconds into the second half, the Hornet lead has swollen to 25-3.
Well, I tell you, if there is a single play that identifies the Bryant Hornets versus the Benton Panthers, it's that counter.
Yeah.
They run it so well, and certainly seem to run it really well against us.
And have run it for years.
Yeah, they just block it so well. I mean, I don't know that Robinson had a hand laid on him.
So 26-3 following the Grayson King PAT as we go down to Justin.
Yeah, guys, they extremely well, but also the separation, the speed was a factor right there as well. You could really see the difference of the speed of their team and ours. I mean, he took away angles as soon as he got the corner and got up that red line, and man, they are fast. Here's a quick fact for you. Bryant has all returners on their track team that were the fastest 4x1 team in the state of Arkansas.
Well,
and didn't I hear Matthew Nelson, their defensive end, commit to Oklahoma, won the 300 hurdles?
That is right. He was the fastest 300-meter hurdle runner in the state of Arkansas. I'm pretty positive he won the meet of champs as well.
And plays defensive end.
Wow.
That's just crazy good. As Grayson King's kickoff is short, it's, boy, diving catch. Was that Brendan Murdoch at the 15? If he's a center fielder, that's an awesome play. But as a kick return man, unfortunately, you're down there, and Benton will start in a hole at the 15.
I think he thought he was in the NFL for a minute. He could just get up and keep going.
Go. So let's see who we got. Anderson and Poot to the near side. Snellings and Barger to the far side. With Deaton in the backfield, swing out and just not in sync right there.
And it seems to be a little out of sync coming out of halftime.
Yeah.
It just seems like a lot of the timing is off a little bit.
Second down and 10. 10:48 to go in the third quarter. Bryant up 26-3. Drew Davis has Gunnar Deaton in the sidecar to his right. Gunnar going to get the handoff and just trying to string it out. And there's Hornets in every spot on the edge.
Yeah, that speed is just something else.
Third down and 10. Snap back to Drew, rolling to his right. He is pressured. He eludes a sack. Now Drew tucks and runs, gets a good block from the umpire, and going to pick up the first down to the 31-yard line. Thank you, Stripes.
Well, just like Coach said, you know, that may be the key for us to move the ball is to find some space and get Drew out there and let him get downfield.
That umpire was trying to tiptoe out of the way, and he threw a perfect block. First down and 10, Benton at the 30. I can mark it at the 32. John Curtis Barger motions to the near side. Going to go back to the ground to Deaton, and nice little cut in the hole. And Gunnar picks up 12 to the 45, move the chains first down.
Yeah, Gunnar Deaton just introduced himself to Terrion Jones.
That was a good little run. I like the little cut back there in the hole.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a burst.
Yeah, he does. Transferred in from Chicago last year and didn't play due to injury. Had always been a safety, moves over to running back and starts the first game of his senior year. First down and 10. Fake it to Murdoch. Drew keeps. Drew down to the 49. Boy, it looked like Madison Bird got rolled
Yeah,
up.
it sure did. He's still down, too.
Madison very slow getting up. He's got those knee braces on. And I'm telling you, without those, Dio, that looked like that could have been a bad injury.
When you're watching football on TV or in person like this, you just see those guys, those linemen with their backs to the action. They get rolled up on. Which makes me cringe.
Yeah. Second down and 7 for the Panthers at the 48. It's Murdoch who moved in from Bryant. First game as a Panther at running back. Good throw to Corey Anderson. And Corey with a diving catch. Day Wilson was homed in on Corey. That's a good catch, Terry, by Corey at the 38.
I mean, not only did he get down to the ball, but he looked the ball in and made sure he had the catch. Fantastic job by Anderson.
Talk about fitting it in a window, though. Drew Davis threw a dart.
Good point. First down and 10, Benton at the Hornet 38-yard line. Panthers on the move, trailing 26-3. Motion Barger into the line. Drew going to keep on the little counter tray. He's got it down to the 33-yard line. Gavin Moment on the tackle. Justin.
Yeah, I think those are the type of plays that are going to keep us, in front of the chains and on schedule right there. So hopefully we continue to win first down.
It's Eli Cunningham, who suffered a knee injury, ended his season early last year, comes to the sideline. Caleb Johnson replaces him. Second down and 5. Ball on the Hornet 33 as Drew Davis looks. He's going to tuck and run and dives at the 31-yard line. Going to be 3rd and 3 for the Panthers. Good little efficient drive going right here, Terry, but we need this 3rd down.
Yeah, it is. And Drew's doing a good job of recognizing where the rush is coming from and then finding a hole to get upfield. Very manageable 3rd down here.
It's Murdoch in the backfield. Barger is the Y. Anderson split to the near side. Got Putin Snelling split to the far side. Drew going to keep. Boy, Bryant just dominated the line that time. McDonald and Horn and company.
They shut that down.
Well,
they just built a wall right there.
You watch on the replay here. That is a dominant play by Malachi McDonald. He literally pushed the line of scrimmage 3 yards backwards.
And we've got a sophomore trying to block a 2-time All-Stater, so a learning experience.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you what, you're not going to go up against many like him the rest of the year. That's the one thing about you can say about going up against this team first game.
Yeah. Now Brad Harris will call a timeout. Now, I will say this. I think Coach Harris takes the exact right attitude about it when he says, and he tells his team, look, we will play nobody like this team.
Yeah.
And playing this team will help us learn everything we need to work on. I mean, it's a great way to look at what seems to most to be a lost cause every year. I mean, for 20 years, we've opened 0-1.
Yeah.
So how do you make the best of that? Well, you realize where your weaknesses are. Well, and they've done a great job year to year taking this game and building.
Oh, absolutely. You've seen especially the last 3 years, it seems like our season has always gotten off to a kind of a questionable start, and it's like, ugh. Well, last year, that 42-52 game was actually, pretty good, but still, you start with a loss. But then, it's like these kids figure out they can play with anybody, realistically. You can play with Bryant, you can play with anybody.
Well, and in all fairness, we're hurt.
Yeah.
We've been hurt for 2 weeks.
So 4th down and 6 for the Panthers. Davis going to drop back and throw, lobs it up, and there's that speed. Terry and Jones broke on the football, picks it off, and Bryant not only holds on 4th down, but they force a turnover, and it'll be Hornet football at the 31.
Yeah, he read that from the jump and jumped the ball and made a great play on it.
But it's the closing speed, Justin, and I know you can see it a lot better at ground level than we can.
Yeah, that was a heck of a defensive play by that guy. I guess the only positive silver lining of that is they got worse field position than if they would have batted it down.
Yeah, fair.
That's exactly what I was thinking. My dad would have gotten on to me had I been him. I'd heard about that after the game.
As Moats back in there at quarterback, hands it off to T.J. Hodges, and he ran several miles to pick up 3 yards.
Man, that speed.
Again, a 4-star running back with over 20 college offers, transferred in from Marked Tree. Second down, actually gave him 5. Second down and 5 at the 36. Tia showing blitz. Going to give it back to Hodges. Hodges stiff arms Cordell Payne. And he's going to be into Benton territory before Austin Hill, the sophomore, brings him down at the Benton 40-yard line. Gain of 24 and a Bryant first down.
Was that Payne?
That got stiff arm?
Yeah, it just pushed him off like he wasn't even there.
Yeah. Yeah, first down Bryant at the Benton 40-yard line. 5.5 to go in the third quarter. Moats throws, catch is made by Logan Lee. First time we've called his name tonight. The junior receiver, Trey Stewart, credited with the tackle for Benton at the 29-yard line. First down Hornets. So Bryant getting Moats back in there, Justin.
Yeah, you kind of see Moats finding a rhythm. He looks like he can be poised and be a leader of this team as well. I think they got 2 guys going forward that, you know, with more experience, their quarterback situation is going to continue to improve for them.
Lobs that one up. Catch is made by Kamari Austin. Cordell Payne on the tackle at the 12-yard line. So the Hornets in the red zone after a 17-yard pitch and catch. Bryant kind of making it look easy now, guys. 26-3, looking to add to the lead with 5:23 to go in the third. See Cason Wright in there now at nose guard for the Panthers. Moats fakes to Hodges, throws to Tucker in the slant, touchdown.
Wow, that was an athletic catch.
So the Hornets go up 32-3 with 5:17 to go in the third quarter. And boy, the depth and the attrition factor kind of kicking in here in the second half, Justin, like it seems to do year in, year out.
Yeah, the depth always gets us, man. And Dio, that was a heck of an athletic play. He climbed the ladder, the ball was behind him, and that was a phenomenal play by a phenomenal athlete.
Grayson King boots it through with 5:17 to go in the third quarter. Bryant 33, Benton 3.
Seems so much further away than 19.
Well, you can see the timing. You can see the timing is a little bit different in the second half.
Yeah.
Plus, you've got the, a Panther defense is pretty tired at this point.
Yes. Yeah, and that, look, that's going to be one of the challenges this year is this is a young team, an inexperienced team, and depth is an issue.
Well, and we talked about it in pregame. On defense, we've only got 6 guys on the field on defense that have played a snap in varsity play.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've got a lot of new faces out there that are starters, not to mention the depth chart.
Another touchback.
Bryant kicks the ball deep into the end zone, and Panthers going to touch it back and have 1st and 10 on the 20.
Well, considering how our kickoff returns have gone so far, I'm actually okay with a touchback. Gives us a solid, solid starting point at the 20.
Remember last year how the coverage team pinned everybody inside the 20 all year?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like Bryant's kick coverage team is going to play that game this year as Panthers go quads to the near side. Panthers again have them outnumbered over there. Catch is made, but Matthew Ferguson just fought through the block of Easton Snellings. Carson Collett going to be dumped at the 20 for no gain, 2nd and 10. New offensive coordinator Drew Harris signals in the play. Trips to the left, 2 receivers into the boundary. Drew looking to the wide side of the field, throws. Curtis Barger makes the catch. He's going to be tackled by number 27, Bryson
Davis
Hart.
down. He's cramping a little bit. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry I cut you off there, but.
So Drew fighting cramps. Catch was made to the 28. It'll be 3rd down and 2, and Panthers struggling a little bit conditioning-wise.
Parents, throw out your kids' Nintendos now and kick them outside during the summertime. Make them do what we did when we were kids. Ride bikes and
play in the dirt.
Play in the dirt. Get off the cell phones and the Xboxes and out of the air conditioning. You say that, but Brian's not suffering with the same thing. So, this is one of those deals where I feel like it's taking everything Benton's got.
Drew
is cramped up.
Yes,
that is a brutal feeling right there.
Hadn't seen a cramp like that in a while.
So Chase Cobb, and we know what he's capable of, steps in there at quarterback, rolls to his right. Chase throws. Carson Collett couldn't make the catch at the 32. Of course, Chase engineered that big win at Marion last year as a sophomore to secure a conference championship.
What a game that was.
Led the Panthers into the playoffs. That 57-14 win over Lake Hamilton. Chase, an uber-talented junior quarterback behind Drew Davis, who continues to get attention on the sideline for that cramp in his calf. As Dawson Dave's going to punt it away, end-over-end punt, fielded, fair catch, Caleb Tucker at the 37-yard line. So the issue now, boys, with Force 07 is a Hornet score here, and we're in running clock territory.
Yeah.
There's no duck camp to get to.
No.
But we're one day closer.
It's a Labor Day weekend. You've waited all summer, so why would you want to get done early tonight?
Well, college football's tomorrow. Hogs are going to play. Red Wolves are going to play.
Yeah. Handoff to Zach Curtis Jones. Jones to the 41. Antonio Shelton's had a nice season opening game of his senior year. Makes the tackle. Flag back in the Hornet backfield, and A hold is going to wipe out that run. You guys ever been to an ASU game?
I have not.
I can't say that I have.
It's worth a trip up there.
Oh, I hear the stadium is fantastic.
It is a wonderful experience.
Game day experience.
Don't have to fight the crowd as badly as you do in Fayetteville.
Yeah.
So, ball back at the 28th. 1st and 20 as Moats airs it out on the sideline. Kamari Austin with a diving catch, but out of bounds. He tried to drag the foot, couldn't do it. It'll be 2nd and 20.
Ben got lucky that time. Receiver got lost back there. Had 2 defenders covering the same guy, and he was wide open, Dale, but the pass was a little off.
He was wide open. And I noticed the same thing. I thought, why are there 2 defenders on the inside guy? I don't know that they saw the outside guy. Did he run a wheel route?
Yes. Second down give to Hodges coming to the near side. Boy, he just glides.
He does.
Up the sideline to the 44 and out of bounds. 3rd down and 4. Just an effortless run for him.
It almost looked like he was just, you could tell he was trying to pick his spot and let his blockers lead the way, but like you said, just smooth. And then when he needed to hit that other gear, he hit that other gear.
So Hodges in the backfield with Moats on this 3rd down and 4 play. Snap back, fake, throw over the head of Sublett, the intended receiver, and it'll be 4th down, and Hornets going to send the punt team out.
Glen Rose leading 32-26 in the other Saline County battle.
Got a Harmony Grove Clinton score over there.
Let me run that.
Grayson King's punt almost blocked, but he got a nice little spiral punt that's going to roll inside the 20 and be down at the 15-yard line by Bryant's Jake Elliott. How about that? The deep snapper getting down there to kill it. So 3:34 to go, 33-3. And Justin is a play caller right here. What's your mindset? Are you thinking let's build something for the future, or are you thinking let's go for broke? Kind of what's your thought process as a play caller here?
No, I think you stay with the game plan. You got a new quarterback in. You trust him. Just execute what you got on the play script and go play football.
Chase Cobb takes a snap, throws, catch is made by Collett. Collett is going to be tackled by Ryan Young after a short gain. Talk about what Chase Cobb brings to the table, Justin, because, man, he was a godsend last year at the end of the season.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you one thing that's special about Chase is it has nothing to do with the game of football, but he is a leader. He's a leader of men. He's going to do great things in his life, and that was evident last year as a sophomore stepping into a role, and he demanded respect, and he took control of the entire offense, and that's very rare for a young sophomore to do that. And obviously he's fearless as well. He kind of reminds me of Brett Favre.
Yeah, I think back to that game last year at Marion, the conference championship on the line, and all the jawing that went on at about 5:30 that afternoon as the Marion Patriots walked right through the Benton get off the bus stretch routine, and Chase was unfazed that night, just as cool as could be, leading the Panthers to a conference championship.
He's the most poised sophomore that I've ever been around in my life. I mean, he's special and very unique in that regard.
He takes a snap, pressured, rolling to his right. He throws this one up for grabs. It's incomplete, and the Panthers going to have to punt it away on 4th down. Chase just harassed to that time, had to get rid of the football. And I believe that was Ryan Young on the pressure.
Yeah, what a great effort by Carson Collett trying to get to that ball. Didn't quite get to it.
I feel like
incredible effort adjusting his route and trying to get back to the ball.
I feel like this offensive line is growing up a lot tonight. They're getting some major reps right now.
Yeah.
They're going to have a lot of film to watch, and there's going to be a lot of good coaching come of that, like you were talking about earlier.
It's kind of like being forced to take the ACT on day one. And I think that's where the perspective of, okay, we're playing the best. That's going to show us exactly what we need to fix.
Yeah. Get some scores for us there, Terry. You're right.
Working
furiously. I see one score you're about to read off. It kind of surprises me a little bit.
Well, read it off. Don't leave me hanging.
Well, I'm compiling the ones that we care about. Harmony Grove and Clinton at halftime, 21-7 Clinton. I'll wait till after this snap. Oh,
that
goodness.
Rolls back to Dawson Daves. He gets it off. Flag flies. Is coming up to make the catch on the run. Malik Ship, the sophomore. Very daring catch in traffic right there. A flag back at the 19-yard line. Ship was tackled at the 32.
Hot Springs Lakeside up 35-14 over Lake Hamilton. Greenwood and Bentonville West locked up in the third quarter at 28.
Oh, wow.
North Little Rock 3, Rogers 21. And El Dorado, Little Rock Christian up over El Dorado 28-0.
I figured El Dorado would be a much improved team this year just because of how young they were over the past two seasons. They should have a lot of experience, but they are going up against Little Rock Christian, who's solid.
Well, now here's one that's on the Panther schedule that is a little bit surprising to me because I think their opponent's got a really good football team, and that's Conway is up over Jonesboro 28-21. So that Jonesboro team's going to be salty.
Yeah, they beat PA in their benefit scrimmage. So Jonesboro seems to be a vastly improved team as Colin Robinson carries to the 38. Antonio Shelton on the tackle for the Panthers. Antonio's having a good night.
Sounds like a pick to click.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, Mr. Captain Inside Knowledge. If anybody knows these players.
Justin's going to go all Dio on us.
He is.
Start pointing out when his pick-to-click's name gets called. Second down and 5.
Two of them.
Moats pulls, pitches it out to Sublett. You talking about an embarrassment of riches. When a young man like that transfers in from Maumelle, when you've already got Cooper Billingsley, it's almost unfair.
Yeah. The matchup nightmares for their opponents.
I mean, all Sublett is a 6'4", 215. And a junior. Offers from Arkansas and Tulsa already. A lot of future D1 talent on this Bryant Hornet team this year. Moats lobs this one for Austin, who comes back, makes the catch. Touchdown Hornets. And you can just see the youth and the fatigue coming into play as Austin hauls it in. And we'll have a running clock the rest of this one as the Hornets go up 39-3.
Yeah, that play is a poster child for the youth and fatigue, as you just well described it, because it looked like a punt, and we couldn't get to it.
Grayson King's PAT is up. It is good, and the Hornet lead is 40-3 with 1:42. And Mason Woolbright will be announcing that the remainder of the game will be played under the sportsmanship rule.
Seems like Bryant's gotten their wrinkles ironed out.
Yeah.
And with their PAT and everything else. Moats looked like he knew how to run the offense. That wasn't the greatest pass, but it still connected.
Justin, I'd like you to weigh in because I told people on paper this looked to me like it could be the best Bryant defense we've ever gone up against. Would you agree or disagree with that assessment 3 quarters in?
That's tough. You know, they've had a lot of very talented defenses. I would say this. They've had a few that I think are more physical than this team, but across the board, the length, athleticism, the depth, I don't know if they've had many that can match, you know, those attributes.
They basically mercy ruled everybody last year after the Salt Bowl.
Yeah.
And I just don't see anybody in the state of Arkansas hanging with this team, especially when they get all the kinks ironed out.
Well, if they can get their offense running on all cylinders, their defense is going to be tough to score against.
Yes. It's a very nice return by Jake Cloud to the 34-yard line. Jake has impressed in the preseason. Had some great catches last week against Little Rock Christian. So first down and 10, Panthers at the 33-yard line.
It's got to be the best starting field position we've had, or close to it.
Chase Cobb remains in there at quarterback as Brendan Murdoch carries for a yard. Guy Nix on the tackle for Bryant. We're about to get deep into the depth chart. Henry's going to have to start hunting.
Going to give some of those younger players some experience. Keep our starters from getting hurt. Oh, what a great. Oh, he dropped it.
Squirted free at the last minute as Corey Anderson tried to make a diving catch.
Yeah, it was underthrown, and he tried to come back for it. Almost made a great play on the ball.
Looks like a number of Panther fans have already headed for the exits, trying to beat the traffic. Everybody was parked into the neighborhoods tonight.
Boy, I'm going to tell you what, it is fun to see, though, the parking get this bad. You know you're going to have a good crowd when that happens. There you go.
Pass interference coming up against Malik Shipp as he didn't allow Corey Anderson to come back to the football, and we got a stoppage of the clock.
I guess, do they stop it on penalties? They're not supposed to.
You know, I think different crews do it differently.
They do. They absolutely do. Trust me, the PDFL guys will tell you every stadium you go to play in, that clock's going to run different. Everything's going to be different depending on the crew.
So last play of the third quarter is a give to Murdoch. He's going to carry to the Bryant 48 before he's tackled by Terrence Ellis and Buster Bailey, and we've played 3 quarters. One more left tonight here in the season opener, Salt Bowl 2025. It's Bryant 40, Benton 3 on M&M Productions.
At First Security, we've been investing in our home state since 1932, growing deep roots and even deeper relationships. We're part of Arkansas. It's part of us. Today, we put all of that history and stability to good use for you. pouring our resources into the people and places we love best. Arkansas communities, Arkansas families, and Arkansas futures. First Security. Think better.
The Everett difference means we are committed to giving back to the communities we serve.
When I think of Everett, I think of them more than just a car dealership.
Everett's involvement in the community is phenomenal. I see it in the police and fire department. I see it in the Boys and Girls Club.
Their heart is in this community.
And I think Everett does a great job making sure they have a positive, lasting impact.
We are grateful for the opportunity to serve. Discover the Everett difference for yourself.
12 minutes left in the season opener. Hornets lead at 40-3. The Panthers have it first down and 10, or excuse me, second and 7 to open the fourth quarter at the Hornet 48. Chase Cobb going to throw. That ball deflected and batted down by Anthony Ellis.
Who was he throwing to?
I have no idea.
I think he thought somebody was supposed to be there, but there was
I think
somebody didn't think
it may
they
have
were
been a
supposed to be
timing
there.
route that was designed differently in someone else's head.
So third down and 7. Panthers at the 48. Chase going to throw. And they're going to say it hit the ground as Cordy Anderson came up with it, but ruled incomplete, fourth down.
Well, the pressure was so hard he couldn't really step into that throw. He kind of had to throw it as he was backing up, and Justin will agree as a former quarterback that you're just not going to get the velocity you need, especially on an out route when you're walking, stepping backwards.
Yeah, that's a long throw right there. He's definitely got to transfer his weight and get it out there, which he can. He's got a very strong arm.
So fourth down, going for it. Chase throws, and that ball knocked down by Anthony Ellis. He separated the ball from Corey Anderson, and the ball goes over to the Hornets. With 10:30 and counting, see Quad Sanders and his coaching staff saluting their backup defenders for getting the stop. And now we'll probably see some of the backup offensive guys for Bryant. Give off to Caleb Leak, sophomore. Running back Case King is the new Hornet quarterback, also a sophomore.
I don't know if y'all saw the note on last night's Maumelle Sylvan Hills game. Sylvan Hills making a 2-point stand and winning the game 55-54.
Wow.
First win in 2 years, wasn't it, for Sylvan Hills?
Maumelle went for 2 for the win and
didn't get it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys have seen the clip on that, but there's a lot of controversy on that play.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Third down and 1 for Bryant. Any update on the battle of Highway 270, Terry? Whitehall and Sheridan.
See if we can find that.
Third down, give the Leak, and he was a whisker away from breaking that one to the end zone. Austin Hill.
Well, I've got a second quarter score. Sheridan up 20-14.
So Kevin Kelly, Daryl Patton.
It's a good matchup.
Yeah, it is. Hand off to Leak again. That was a great tackle. Aiden Bateman, sophomore who led the freshman team in tackles last year. Met Leak in the hole, brought him down. 8 minutes to go here tonight. Hornets lead at 40-3. Let's give off to Leak again, and the Hornets just milking the clock now as Grayson Ross will check in for the Panthers. It'll be 3rd down and 7 for Bryant at the Benton 31. Now Brad Harris is going to take a timeout with 7:23 to go. The Hornets' success has led to some scheduling difficulty. Their next game is against a team from an Atlanta suburb.
Now, are they having is that an away game or a home game?
Home game. So the team from Atlanta is coming to Bryant.
Well, what was it I heard? Something like that team's got, it's a ridiculous number of D1 commits. Like 14 or something like that. I mean, should be a good matchup.
I've got Bryant with 8 on mine, so you want to see a lot of future D1 guys.
Yeah.
Hornet Stadium next week would be the place to be. Third down and 8 for Bryant at the Benton 30. So they rewind the clock out of the timeout. Give it off to Leak, and Leak going to be tackled by Grayson Ross, also in there assisting Logan Hipskind.
Yeah, that's great effort there.
Mm-hmm.
Great effort on defense. Hipskins played well tonight. And actually, that's really important, too, because he'll add some depth to that defensive backfield.
Well, you kind of like to see a guy, he's senior.
Yeah.
He's waited his turn.
That's right.
He gets his turn, and we've called his name multiple times tonight. As King's pass almost picked off. Falls harmlessly to the turf, and the Panthers will take over on first down. That was Jackson White.
Jackson White is going to see that one in his sleep tonight.
Mm-hmm. That's one of those you might think about a year later. I got a couple of those.
One more.
It's only been 25 years since I was in high school. There's a couple of plays that still flash in my memory bank every now and then.
That's one of those where you run that one in the field house.
Cobb going to throw, and the Panthers looked like they were setting up a little hook and lateral there. So it looked like Corey was going to pitch it to Max Gist, but the throw low, incomplete, second down.
Yeah, that pressure just keeps getting to Chase. He's underthrowing quite a few balls. That offensive line needs to give him a little more time.
Jaron Ginther getting some time at right guard here. Pass incomplete, third down.
You just see that defensive line. They literally move the line of scrimmage backwards immediately. I mean, I was paying attention on that one. Yeah, and true.
They're also fresh bodies.
Yeah, we got a few backups in there on our O-line too, so we're learning a little bit right now.
So that one almost picked off as DeAndre Brewer was breaking on the attempted pass by Cobb. It'll be fourth down and 10 Panthers.
Cobb slung that one in there. He had some mustard on that.
Brad Harris going to send on the punt team. White flag is fully up the flagpole now, so Basically telling Coach Sanders,
let's go.
Take it easy on us. Yeah. Snap rolls back to Dawson Daves.
Kick.
It's going to be fielded and returned by Malik Ship.
We'll get a block in the back.
Yeah, it's going to come backwards too.
Hipskin and Stevens on the tackle for Benton. They will step that block in the back off against Bryant, put it down at the... Well, he went to the 24. Now he walks it back to the 29. That's where the Hornets will put it in play. First down, 4 minutes and 20 seconds to milk off this Salt Bowl clock tonight. Flag flies. Carry this time by DJ Gooding. He's tackled by Grayson Ross. DJ Gooding was tackled by Grayson Ross. There's a flag on the play. An illegal motion. Back the Hornets up 5.
Well, guys, 9:15 on a Salt Bowl Friday. That's
unbelievable.
I hadn't seen that in a while.
No.
Now, hear me out on this, guys, and I don't mean any offense to it, but from a distance, I swear Bryant's numbers on their jerseys almost look like somebody took blue duct tape and did it.
I thought the exact same thing.
Because I saw one of the players earlier, and I thought they must have had to just find a blank jersey and put some tape on it. But it's just that style of number. I noticed, figured this out a while ago.
It is the font, but before I saw it on the screen, I thought the exact same thing.
There's that little misdirection, and Logan Hipkins did a good
right
job.
through there.
Hipskin again.
It's okay to get blocked. It's just not okay to stay blocked, right? He did not stay blocked.
Watch him blow right through it.
Boom. He split those offensive linemen.
So third down and 15 for Bryant. Throws Sales over the head of the receiver. Connor Blankenship, the closest Panther to that one. And on fourth down and 15, Quad Sanders is going to send on the punt team. In fact, he's going to send in his second team punter. That's J.D. Olson, son of our friend Nate Olson, the Bryant color commentator.
Mm-hmm.
J.D. drops it, and he's going to be covered up. Panther's going to take over at the 10-yard line. It's Noah Robertson going to get credited with the tackle of Olson after the punt snap just went through his hands.
So you're telling me there's a chance.
You got a 37-point play up your sleeve?
Well, I'd be happy to see double digits on the Benton side of the scoreboard, to be honest with you.
Yep. A little confidence builder.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
How about Austin Hill?
He's had a nice game for us. First varsity. Yep.
Yeah.
Cobb with a fake rolling. He is being harassed by Hornets.
Oh, what a catch.
Oh, they called him out.
Yep.
He was close. I
That was
I certainly can't tell from here, but that was a great pass and a great catch.
Yep. Sure was.
If he'd gotten the other foot down first,
the
first foot that came down was.
Oh, wow.
Jake Cloud, touchdown. So the Panthers play into the final horn. It's Jake Cloud on the receiving end. He couldn't get his feet down out of bounds on the previous play, gets his feet down in the end zone on the next.
That's
right.
the one that mattered,
right?
right?
To him.
Yeah.
You got to love that.
So 40-9.
Well, and Jake Cloud, just a junior, I have a feeling we'll see quite a bit more of him this year and definitely next.
Gabe Wilbur's extra point is good, and it is 40-10. Hornets lead with 43.9 seconds. And Justin, you, for the last 9 years, have been a part of that coaching staff that has endured the Salt Bowl and come out of it with all kinds of lessons to teach the young men that have gotten better and better and better season in and season out. Do you see the dynamic playing out the same this year?
You know, I do. I love this game for that one reason. You see your deficiencies, you see what you got to improve on. But I was just talking to Dr. Dixon. I really like this team. I think this is one of those teams that have grit. They're going to continue to have their back against the wall week in and week out. It reminds me a lot of that 2019 season, to be honest with you.
The 2019 team opened the season 0-3, if I remember right, correct?
That is correct. We liked our team. We had some deficiencies. We lost the first 3 games, and every week, if you remember, was a struggle. And we learned from it, and the team just got better with each, adverse situation. And by week, I think 7 or 8, we played Greenwood. We beat them, and then we just continued to improve, and we lost the state championship to Searcy by 1.
Yep. Yeah, that was a team that lost to Arkadelphia in week 2, lost at Cabot in week 3, and then would
barely squeaked out a win against Siloam Springs.
That's true. That is exactly right.
Yep.
Barely squeaked out a win against El Dorado. Every week was a struggle. There wasn't Mercy Rule blowouts.
But then when they had to show up against Greenwood and Lake Hamilton, they absolutely did.
That's correct, and this team reminds me of that. I mean, we didn't have a lot of depth then. We had to be creative offensively and defensively, but you know what? We had a lot of Benton kids and Benton Panthers, and we never gave up. And I see that character in this team.
Yeah. And I don't think you can short sell what a bunch of Benton kids playing for the Benton community can mean.
Absolutely. Well, there's just something about that, especially a lot of these kids, are names, and if you look back, these kids all played in the PDFL coming up, and, they were wearing their jerseys on Friday nights to those Panther games, waiting their turn. So they're getting their turn.
And tonight the turn didn't go in their favor as the Hornets win at 40-10. As Salt Bowl 2025 has come to an end, the teams congratulate, shake each other's hands, and the foes become friends again. We'll come back with the post-game show. We'll have our Neo Home Loan MVPs. We'll have Justin Ray visit with Brad Harris and get his thoughts. And we'll put a bow on this one as Bryant wins it tonight 40-10.
Hey, welcome to Westside. How can I help you?
We're all in this community.
And then you see somebody, come by the pharmacy, and it's somebody that you went to high school with, and they have a son or a daughter that's playing sports at the same place that you played.
We get to know our patients. We get to know kind of what's going on. We keep our pharmacy techs, clerks for years. You're going to know them. You go to church with them. You go to school with them.
Somebody's like, I'm sick and I'm at home, and it's late and on the weekend. I'm coming your way.
Hey, welcome to Westside. How can I help you?
We're all in this community.
And then you see somebody, come by the pharmacy, and it's somebody that you went to high school with, and they have a son or a daughter that's playing sports at the same place that you played.
We get to know our patients. We get to know kind of what's going on. We keep our pharmacy techs, clerks for years. You're going to know them. You go to church with them. You go to school with them.
Somebody's like, I'm sick and I'm at home, and it's late and on the weekend. Well, I'm coming your way.
Hey, welcome to Westside. How can I help you?
We're all in this community.
And then you...
The Everett difference means we are committed to giving back to the communities we serve.
When I think of Everett, I think of them more than just a car dealership.
Everett's involvement in the community is phenomenal. I see it in the police and fire department. I see it in Boys and Girls Club.
Their heart is in this community.
And I think Everett does a great job making sure they have a positive, lasting impact.
We are grateful for the opportunity to serve. Discover the Everett difference for yourself.
Hi, I'm Miranda Kirkendall, owner and advanced nurse injector here at Solux Aesthetics in the heart of downtown Benton. I've had the pleasure of serving our community for the last 4 years. At Solux, it's not about changing who you are, it's about making you feel comfortable and confident in your own skin with the results that look natural and true to you. Whether it's Botox, filler, or skin treatment, I focus on results that look fresh, natural, and unique. I'd love for you to stop by and see me at 149 South Market Street or give me a call at 501-249-4177.
Midtown Plumbing services over 1 million square feet of commercial property in Little Rock. And they've also provided plumbing needs to thousands of residential clients all over Central Arkansas. Along with residential and commercial plumbing, Midtown also provides water heater sales, sewer repair, remodeling services, and 24-hour emergency plumbing. Midtown Plumbing, just a phone call away. 501-426-5900. MidtownMechanicalServices.com.
The Everett difference means we treat everyone with respect and honesty. Our customers know firsthand how that feels.
You are their main focus.
They're all working toward the same common goal, which is providing exceptional customer experience.
Everett has earned our trust.
Everett always gives me the best deal. Always.
Everett made it happen.
That's the only place we will ever buy a car from, ever.
We are grateful for the opportunity to serve. Discover the Everett difference for yourself. The Everett difference means we take care of our customers before, during, and after the sale. Our customers can tell you our approach to service just feels different.
I always feel very confident that they're going to take care of me. They're very detailed with every job that they perform.
When we bring in our vehicles for service, Everett gets us in and out.
They got everything taken care of quickly and efficiently and got me back on the road really fast.
We are grateful for the opportunity to serve. Discover the Everett difference for yourself.
At First Security, we've been investing in our home state since 1932, growing deep roots and even deeper relationships.
All right.
I'm here with Coach Harris. Coach, obviously not the outcome we want, but I saw a lot of positives, man. I really like the team. I like the spirit of the team. It reminds me a lot of 2019 when we started 0-3, and it was a challenge each week. Is that kind of the feeling you're getting?
Very similar, Justin. Man, we don't have the quality depth that we need. And, man, we gave these guys fits for a quarter and a half, you know. And then we get a couple guys out. Carson's lame. Will comes out. Gunnar Deaton goes out. We just don't have the quality of depth to run with somebody like that. But man, we got some pieces that we really like, and I think that we can put it together. But, you know, the biggest thing we talk to these guys about is, you know, believing you can beat those guys. And, man, those guys are going to beat a lot of people this year. That is hands down, to me, the best defensive team that they've had since I've been at Benton. And they made us look bad in the box. And, you know, we just had a hard time establishing anything offensively. And defensively, we had moments, but then we hurt ourselves with the silly mistakes on the fake punt stuff and give them momentum. If we shut that off at that point, who knows what happens? You know, it's a 6-3 ball game, but we give them a couple things. But we like a lot of the guys we got. You know, we're not real big, but I tell you what, I like what we did, some stuff on defense tonight. We was very aggressive. We attacked. Got to get a little bit better in some man coverage situations, not lose our eyes. But we got a lot to learn from this game. You know, we always say that every year they make us better just because they show us our weaknesses, and they showed them again tonight. But we ain't gonna see anybody that good the rest of the year.
No, and I can speak with a little bit of experience here, and I think with situations like this and teams that we've had like this before, it makes us as coaches have to dig a little deeper, do a little bit more, and we have extremely talented coaching staff, and I know, you know, working with you for 9 years, you guys are going to make sure you right the ship, and it's going to be a very successful and fun season to watch.
Well, we're you know, and all you guys know, we're going to look at the mirror this weekend. We're going to figure out what we need to do, we need to adjust, and we're going to make those adjustments. You know, well, the great thing is we got a 3-day weekend right now. We're off next week. Hopefully they heal up. We got some beat up kids right now. They are beat up, man. Let me tell you. But they got to get healed up, and we'll lick our wounds next week, practice, get ready, go to North Little Rock. I don't know that it gets much more easier with North Little Rock and Parkview, but we'll be a lot better off against those guys than we are Bryant. But some good stuff, but got a lot to learn.
Absolutely. I think you're a smart man, too. I think a couple of years ago you decided, hey, I think we might need a bye week after the Salt Bowl. So I think that's been a huge help for us as well, don't you think?
Oh, for sure. You know, we set that up, you know, in 19 when we went 0-3. You know, we took our lumps against these guys, and then Arkadelphia, and then Cabot. Man, it was tough year right there. So we're going to take a week off and get better with Benton Panthers, you know, and focus on the Benton Panthers for just a little bit. But excited about what they're going to do for us this next week to get ready.
For sure, and you always find a way to right the ship.
Appreciate you guys up top. Thanks a lot. Okay.
Back to you guys.
We'll get it right.
Yeah, no, you will. That's one fear I never have.
Never.
Is that in back of the Salt Bowl, will Brad Harris and his coaching staff figure it out? They do every year.
Every year.
Jinx. All right, we got to get Neo Home Loans MVPs that will be honored at our first Panther Live at Lost Pizza on Tuesday. Lost Pizza and Legends sponsoring our postgame show tonight. They will host Panther Live at Lost Pizza on Tuesday, beginning at 6:30. Now, that, as well as the rest of the games, will be free of charge and streamed on the Benton Football Network YouTube channel from here on out. So that'll be back to our home base for the rest of the year. But we got to decide who we're going to honor.
All right. Let's go defense first, since that's probably a little easier.
Well, I'll start off. This is going to be a unorthodox pick, but I'm going to go with Hipskin. And the reason why is because he's a senior and he's getting his snaps, and he comes in and plays a really good football game. I just thought he stepped in and provided some depth at that position that we really needed in this game, and so I'm gonna cast my vote for Hipskin.
I like that pick. I like how he played in the second half for sure. But I've got to go with Antonio Shelton. You could
also a senior.
Also a senior. You could talk about Austin Hill though. Austin Hill, I think, is going to show leading the team in tackles, but
as a sophomore.
But from the position that he's in, that's not a great thing. That's not what you don't want.
From the Bandit.
Yeah, you don't necessarily want him leading in tackles. You really want your leading tackler to be a linebacker. And Antonio Shelton was not far behind him. We called his name several times. He was always in the mix, is a good way to put it. It's tough on defense as well. Had a couple of pass deflections. I mean, you could throw out Messiah, who had a couple of really good series where
I can go with Shelton.
Did some good things.
And a nod also to Weston Monson.
Yeah.
6 tackles, 2 quarterback sacks, 1 forced fumble. Forced fumble early. So.
Yep.
But I like the senior.
Yeah.
Salt Bowl. So if I've got to break the tie, I'm going with Tony.
I like it.
With a
deal.
We'll get Logan in as our senior spotlight. Get them both in. How about that?
Deal.
So Tony Shelton will be our Neo Home Loans defensive MVP, and we'll get Logan Hipskind in as one of our senior spotlight guys at Lost Pizza on Tuesday. All right, offensive MVP, and not a lot of glaring numbers tonight. Poot Collett led the team, 5 catches, 52 yards, but as you may have heard Justin Ray pointing out, a lot of those came on one big catch.
Yeah.
John Curtis Barger, more receptions than Bronson Koulis had all season last year at the Y position, 3 for 38.
I like the spark that JCB showed out there. I mean, he kind of sparked the offense. We hadn't been able to really get anything going. That was the first real drive where we moved the ball, and it was 2 passes in a row to him that did it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I pointed to this earlier in the game, and I'm just going to tell you, other teams are going to have to scheme about him. He is going to be a weapon for this offense. And when they try to load up on Collett and Carter, he is going to be someone that slips in and hurts some defenses.
Well, and Drew had a good game tonight. Drew, ran for 30 yards. He did have 2 picks. One of those, I kind of, you could really take off his shoulders with the injury to the receiver on the way to get it. But, it was a tough game. It was a tough sledding for quarterbacks back there in the backfield for sure. So
I'm going Barger.
Let's go Barger.
All right, it's unanimous. John Curtis Barger, our Neo Home Loans offensive MVP. I think one thing you will not get a disagreement out of us on is what Brad Harris said, that this is the best defense we'll play all year.
Oh, yeah.
I would not have wanted to be back there in the backfield.
No. I mean, it's just a different level of size and strength combined, Terry, than we're used to seeing.
Yeah, it is. They outweigh you even on offense. And defense is, in my opinion, is just not really much of a conversation about whether or not you're going to see a defense that's even in the same league as Bryant's defense. Offensively, I think they're just as talented. They just hadn't found that groove yet, and once they do, I mean, they've got 3 wide receivers that are 4.3 or fast, or 4.4 or faster.
Yeah.
And when you can line up with that many weapons and that much speed on the outside, and then you've got 3 running backs, not 1 or 2, but you've got 3 running backs. Your second team running back has 20 NCAA offers. I mean, that is a loaded team.
Crazy. Yeah. Crazy. Bryant Davis started and made all conference for them last year. He's now a second-team linebacker.
Yeah.
I mean, when you can take an all-conference kid and bump him to second team on the depth chart.
Yeah, what a luxury. What a luxury.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And credit Quad Sanders, how he keeps everybody happy enough to not have a mass exodus when you've got all-conference guys dropping on the depth chart, it's mind-boggling. But we congratulate our friends from Bryant. They have a team that, to me, looks like there's not going to be a lot of drama at Bryant football this year. There's going to be a lot of mercy rule games for the entire second half.
Yeah.
So congratulations, Hornets. Very impressive. Very impressive tonight. All right, final words tonight, Dio.
Well, I'm glad it's football season again. And you know, I'll just echo what we've talked about many times tonight. This is a game that you are glad to get out of the way so you can start working on those weaknesses. And so kudos to Coach Harris and his staff for, you know, having several years of practice at that and doing a great job of it.
Yep.
Here's to another one.
Terry.
Yeah, I'm just I'm proud of the guys. They played all the way through the game, and they kept it close in the first half, which exceeded my expectations. And then just kept playing. And we got a few guys banged up, but we also get a week off next week, and hopefully you guys heal up, and we'll be ready for that North Little Rock team.
And that North Little Rock team will see 2 weeks from tonight at North Little Rock. Panthers will go to North Little Rock 2 weeks from tonight for Game 2 of the 2025 season. Until then, Panther Live will return to Lost Pizza this year. We'll have our first show of the season on Tuesday at 6:30. If you can't join us in person, which it is a lot of fun in person, it's just a great big Panther football family fellowship night. A lot of good food. We kick it all off. The show streaming at 6:30 on the Benton Football Network YouTube channel, but feel free to come as early as you'd like and enjoy the pizza and company. Coach Harris will recap tonight's Salt Bowl and preview the upcoming game with North Little Rock. We'll also be joined by Antonio Shelton and John Curtis Barger, our Neo Home Loans Panther MVPs tonight. And we'll spotlight a couple of seniors, including Logan Hipskind. Want to give a very big thank you tonight to our crew from M&M Productions, who will bring you Panther football all season long. Matt Johnson produced it and engineered it. Will Tracy, our new director, will be directing for us all season long. Hunter Barksdale, Evan Garrett, Dallas Hall, and Zach Brown were behind the cameras tonight, brought you all the great pictures. Reminder that all remaining games this year will be live streamed on the Benton Football Network YouTube channel. So for Terry Benham, Henry Hicks, Justin Ray, and Dio Vanucci, I'm Jim Gardner. Thanks so much for joining us tonight for Benton Panther football. And today and always, it's a great day to be a Benton Fighting Panther. Tonight's final score, the Hornets 40, the Panthers 10. Until we greet you 2 weeks from tonight from North Little Rock in a non-conference matchup with the Charging Wildcats. Good night, God bless, and go